Okay.
Yeah, try to opening up a second window.
Give it a shot now.
I'll close that and I'll try
There we
to.
go. I think we're live now. Or it looks like we're live.
There we go. See, I'm wearing a different shirt. Now let me make sure that I'm keeping this on mute. Good, because otherwise I'll hear myself 10 seconds later.
Are you hearing it twice?
No, I have it on mute, but I know the hand gestures I made when I said that, and now
Okay.
I'm seeing it on my screen. All right, so Ed, how's it going today?
All right.
I did get.
No. Oh. I think Rich's call dropped. Yeah, we're live. Oh no. Well, huh. Seems like Skype crashed. Okay. We'll be right back.
I'm back. Yeah, Skype
Yay.
crashed for some reason.
Okay. But we're good. Tiago THGPD says, "Hey guys."
Hey, Tiago, how you doing? Yay! Okay, so I got the channel back on mute again, so now we're only dealing with one level of conversation. I don't want to make a video that's kind of like Inception.
Yeah. We did enough of that the other night.
Oh, geez, yeah. I mean, that was confusing. I'm hearing myself talk, and then I'd hear myself talk, and then I'd hear myself talk, and then I'd hear myself talk. Like, what am I doing? I don't know.
What do we ever know what we're doing?
So, what do you want to talk about first?
Well, do you want to get into Moon Knight?
I actually rewatched it again today, maybe about an hour ago,
Oh, very good.
and yeah, sure, I'd love to. I had the missus watch it also. When it was over, I said, "How? What'd you think?" She goes, "It's confusing."
Ah, that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, no more confusing than the first episode of WandaVision was. First
Mm-hmm.
three episodes, actually.
That's true. Yeah. I also watched it with my wife. She really liked it, and she's not really familiar with Moon Knight, other than me being like, "Moon Knight's coming. It's coming out this spring. It's coming." So she knows because I've been telling her about it. But she really liked it.
See, I have never read a Moon Knight comic. I mean, just something about it. I look, I'm a Marvel fan,
Yeah.
but I looked at that and went, "It's a Batman ripoff," and I just immediately tuned it off.
Wow.
So it was because I didn't think. it was original. I did not understand that it was part of a multiple personality disorder. Hey, Cat Fan, how you doing? Good to see you there.
I think that's one of the reasons I really
Yeah,
love it, because it like talks to that. You don't see a lot of that side of people in comics, or multiple people.
yeah. Well, I mean, one of the big things that I always liked about Marvel Comics is over DC is the imperfections of the base characters. You know, I mean, Spider-Man being a geeky little kid, he wasn't a superpowered person from another planet who was pretending to be a news reporter like
That's
Superman.
true.
He genuinely was a geeky
Yeah,
person. Tony Stark, even though he was a billionaire, he had alcohol problems. Um, what do you call it? Now I can't even think straight here. I mean, Moon Knight is another one. The X-Men, the mutants not being accepted by
yeah,
society, which was a way for Marvel Comics to make a statement towards the LGBTQ community 50 years ago,
mm-hmm.
or 60 years ago almost, if you think about it, 1963. Um, they've always tried to have their base characters be something more that the average comic book reader can relate to. You know, I mean, I can't relate to a billionaire who can get any girl he wants and then has all the limitless technology because he has all the money and then fights crime because his parents died. If you said it was an average person whose parents died, yes, you know, a lot, then people can relate to it. Alcoholism, a lot of people can relate to that. Being the nerd in school or being picked on in school, people can relate to that.
Interesting.
So I think that's where Marvel took off where DC didn't.
You're shaking my foundations. I'm a DC guy primarily, but that's a really good point. I never really thought of it that
I
way.
mean, and I know, and I mean, the characters themselves in DC are awesome, but I think that's what helped get Marvel more of a foothold in the market and overall in the long run exceed the production, the publication,
That's
and that's because more people could relate to it.
that's true. Because even like my favorite is Green Lantern, and even though he's not like Batman or Superman, even he's like an all-star fighter pilot. Tom Cruise, Top Gun kind of guy. So he's even
Yeah.
him is still like top of the class. So that's a really good point.
Well, I mean, a lot of the DC and you get people like Thor and an Incredible Hulk. And not many people can relate to being a scientist with 9 PhDs or whatever
Yeah,
that turns into a giant green rage monster. But yeah, there are those characters, but there's other ones that people could look at like, wow, I could go home, fall asleep tonight, and dream or imagine being that character.
yeah,
You know, I can't imagine being the Hulk, but I could. If I got bit by a spider,
yeah,
maybe it's radioactive. No, it's just a spider. It's a brown recluse, and you're gonna have a giant spot on your arm, and it's gonna hurt like hell.
yeah. You might end up in the hospital.
Yep.
Um,
Actually, for me, it was on my shin.
oh, did you get one?
I live in Georgia, of course I
uh,
did. That was my little welcome to Georgia. Hey, New Yorker, tastes good. The other white meat.
um, but yeah, I think Oscar Isaac did a great job. He's got a really like dramatic, intense face when he wants to as well.
Hmm.
Okay,
Oh yeah, the eye roll is freaking me out.
the Cat Fan, that's pretty funny. You can relate to mental illness.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us can.
yeah. There used to be there was a movie called Johnny Dangerously with Michael Keaton and Joe
Oh
Piscopo.
wow.
A really corny gangster movie. And at one point, Joe Piscopo pulls into a handicapped parking spot. The other gangster looks over and goes, "This is for handicapped only." Joe Piscopo says, "I am handicapped. I'm psychotic."
Probably wouldn't fly today. But yeah, the way I loved how they like blacked out and then back in. I thought that was so well done.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that kind of like with the WandaVision, that in a later episode we get to see it from the opposite point
Yeah,
of view.
yeah. I hope the second episode is the same episode exactly, just from Spectre's point of view, Mark Spector's point of view.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd love to see where Like, he's driving backwards after he just, took out a couple more guys. Then he blacks
Yeah.
out. And the next thing, he knows he's being crushed by logs. And Conchu is going, the idiot threw the gun.
Right.
What do you mean he threw the gun?
Yeah, just like talking trash on what he did prior.
Yeah, it's a Steven roasting is what he's doing,
Right.
man.
The roast of Stephen Grant. I saw a lot of people complaining about the CGI, that it was bad, but it didn't bother me.
I saw one person was complaining about the CGI, but he was watching the not the finished product. He was watching the premiere that certain people were allowed to watch the first 3
Oh,
episodes.
wow.
So, I mean, you got to watch 3 episodes, and I had to wait to watch 1. Shut up. Oh, boo-hoo. Your CGI wasn't good. You're still 2 episodes ahead of me. Shut up. But, yeah, I like the CGI. I thought they did a great... but it's a TV show budget. It's not a big $200 million budget like for a movie. I mean, even a $200 million budget doesn't help anybody when it comes to, like, Morbius.
Whoa. There's been no improvement since we talked about it yesterday, by the way.
There were a lot of people online that said that they liked that movie a lot, and then you realize it was April Fool's.
It's got to be some sort of poetic justice that they released it at that time.
I see Shop for Comics has jumped in.
Oh, hey.
Shop and Cat Fan both are people that I've gotten mystery boxes for. Very, very satisfying, pleasing mystery boxes for. I still got there's been a lot on both of our plates. Should I just throw that episode together, or do you still want to take a look at have more time with it?
Which one?
Well, when I uploaded the last upload, I actually uploaded 2 different videos.
Okay.
Do you want to take a look at it, because it's not a time sensitive one?
Yeah, I mean, I can look at it.
Yeah, and if not, then I'll just do my. Greg's a lot better at editing than I am. Okay, so I mean, between the 2 of us, I try. As he said, I have the gift of gab, which my friends tell me that just means that I won't shut up, and he has the understanding of how a computer works. I push, as long as the battery's still good in the mouse and I can see that little arrow thing moving around, I'm doing good. But between the 2 of us, we try to make the video, we try to make it good for you, the people.
Was that a Bane?
That was a Bane. It was a Bane. You have to talk like this.
Yes. Very good.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
All right, I will say this: for all the flack DC gets for the live action, their animated stuff is great, even the funny stuff.
No, has anything even come remotely close to the Batman with Conroy and what do you call it, Joker by Mark Hamill?
My God. Timeless. You can watch it today and just be like, oh yeah.
God. This is tough to admit, but I'm still going to say that The Dark Knight is still one of the top 3, at least, superhero movies of all time.
I have to go watch those again, man. It's been so long.
I liked Batman Begins. I was okay with The Dark Knight Rises, but The Dark Knight itself with Heath Ledger as the Joker, to me, that's better than Infinity War and No Way Home. And
wow.
Yeah, I got to give it to it. I have to give it a lot of credit. So, I mean, the storylines are there. I haven't seen the new Batman yet, though.
I heard it's really good. I haven't seen it either.
Now, you're the DC guy. You're supposed to help me out.
I know. I'm just starting to leave the house now.
Okay, let's see. I only read Jeff Lemire's run, so I was very prepared to see a confused person. But overall, I think he was an okay... It was okay start, nothing amazing. Okay, well, you know what? It's not getting 99% reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. It's getting a decent score. And if you think about a lot of the other Marvel series, they did start off kind of slow and work their way into it. It's concerning that this series only has 6 episodes.
Yeah. I saw that and I was a little bit thrown off by that. I feel like that's not a long enough run. But I guess
Well,
with how much they jam
it
packed,
worked for Hawkeye.
well, that's true. I loved Hawkeye a lot. That's true.
Hawkeye, I was blown away by Hawkeye because I really didn't expect anything. I'm like, okay, we're doing a show about the guy that shoots a bow and arrow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, and then that's a ripoff of Green Arrow, so I have to admit that one. So,
That's two.
yeah, side by side, just about every character from Marvel and DC has ripped off one or the other along the way.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
Submariner came first.
I saw that when I was. Full disclosure to everybody watching, this is my 1 year anniversary of comics, just in general. And you, Rich, I don't know if I told you that. Like March of 2021 was when I bought my first comic book, and then I spent the last year getting up to 1,000 comic books.
Cheers! Happy anniversary.
So I'm still learning stuff. Like recently, Submariner came first, but only barely.
Barely. Like 20 years.
We'll see. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Submariner and
it was in like a.
what do you call it? The Human Torch were both out, I believe, in 1939.
Yeah, like in that like Funnies book or something, right?
Marvel Comics #1,
Okay.
which later on it was renamed to Marvel Mystery Comics. I almost had my hands on a copy of Marvel Comics #1 when I was a kid.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I was actually looking in my Overstreet price guide, and I was looking at the picture of the book saying someday, at the time, that was worth more than Action Comics #1 and Detective #27. And I'm looking at like, someday I could have that. And I was at my grandmother's job, and some guy came walking that was there with his wife for my grandmother's job, looks over my shoulder and says, I have that book. And I quickly slammed the price guide. I'm like, you do? Would you like to sell it? That's the one I need to finish my run. Bullshit. And he said, yeah, how much would you give me for it? And I had never negotiated. I'm like 10 years old. And I said, would you be interested in selling it for $100? He's like, oh yeah, sure. I'll go home and get it in my attic, and I'll bring it back to you next week. I'm freaking out. In the book, it's a $16,000 book at that time.
Wow.
Now it's millions.
Yeah.
And he came back the following week and said, I was excited. I mean, I borrowed money from everybody that I knew, and I sold my bicycle trying to get the $100. And he came in and said that his father had cleared out the attic the spring before and threw them all out. Yes. So somewhere in the New York landfill, now aged for 40 years, is a copy of Marvel Comics #1. I'm sure there's a lot of copies in the New York landfills.
Thank you, Shop. Yeah. It's been a very expensive 1 year of comic buying. Man, that hurts, dude. Like I've often wondered like how many, Amazing Fantasies and that kind of stuff are just kind of like rotting in a gutter or in a landfill or something.
What's even scarier is that there's gonna be some convenience store, drugstore somewhere in the country that's been operating since 1920. That's Agnes, who's now 98, is going to pass away, and her grandkids are going to clear out the store and find a whole box in an attic that has never seen daylight.
Yeah.
We're not going to be the ones that find it, but somebody will.
You never know, man. I got to go to one of these estate sales or something around here.
Oh, one thing I found is if you see an estate sale and they advertise comic books, then they know comic books are worth something. They've researched it and already priced them up. Especially if they put pictures in it. Then you better be dang sure that you're there an hour early and you're ready to knock people out of the way to get to it.
You show up like a Raiders fan with a helmet and spikes on your shoulder pads and stuff.
Or like my ex-wife did at a Harry Potter book release. Get out of the way.
Got physical.
It's like, did you just knock over a 9-year-old kid? She wasn't moving fast enough. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Was it worth it?
So what didn't you like about the episode? If there was anything.
Oh, okay. All right, now the only thing I didn't like, and this is a personal, I can't hold it against it. I have a hard time understanding what the heck they say when they're speaking in a Cockney British accent. I actually had to turn on subtitles. I'm like, what the heck did he
Right,
say?
right.
Yeah, and I mean I know all the slang, yeah, but just sometimes getting it to make it from the eardrum to the brain and understanding what the words are being
Yeah.
said. Um, Overall, there was nothing I disliked about it. I guess I'd put it about an 8 to an 8.5 on a scale of 1 to 10.
I can
How
I
about you?
can sympathize with what you're saying about the Cockney stuff. But I by default watch with subtitles just because I have kids that are sleeping, so subtitles are on anyway. So, but it's good because you're right. Like when he's like saying like guys and like in it and just all these little isms and stuff, British isms, it
Mm-hmm.
can be lost. My my least favorite thing I think is like his actual costume. He looks too much like a straight up mummy for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I mean, that's really like a nitpick thing. It's a personal taste thing. I like you said, I'm not going to hold that against the show, but I feel like there are other iterations of the costumes that have been really cool compared. But
But they nail Khonshu.
yeah, oh yeah, oh boy, my wife,
I want that mask so
my
bad.
wife and I, like when he was seeing him in the street as he was on the bus and passing and he was disappearing, both of us were like,
Yeah,
oh, like it's legitimately a little bit scary.
I would love to get a. You know how at Halloween people get the 10-foot or 20-foot tall
Yeah, yeah,
skeletons for
yeah.
their. I want a 15-foot tall
Gosh,
Khonshu this Halloween.
that'd be awesome. That'd be cool. But I would give it a I would give it a 7.5, 8
I mean, it's entertaining.
for
Okay,
sure.
it's. I think that the next episodes are going to be really good. I think that the missus will be more confused and probably drop out of it. I got her. I practically had to tie her to the couch and drug her to get her watch WandaVision. And when all was said and done, she said, "I love it." I
Yeah,
said, "Great. Do you want to watch the next show?" No. Why not? Not that interested. You said that about the last one, but you loved it. Give it a shot.
got a question from Anthony Wheeler. You want to take that one?
Sure. Do you have Hulk versus Thor Banner of War #1 on your poll list for April 27th? Uh, no, but I better get it there. Is that still on final order cutoff? Make myself a note on that.
Is that a one shot or is that going to be? Let's,
Banner of War #1. I don't. Well, I'm assuming not because usually one shots don't have a number, and he says that's a #1. So I've just added this as my little star, like get me.
I see on the May the 4th, the Banner of War Alpha #1 is slated to come out.
May the 4th is only for Star Wars.
Well, that's why when Kenobi's coming out, both TV and comic.
It's Kenobi got moved from the 25th to the 27th. So instead of coming out on Wednesday the 25th, it's going to be pushed off 2 days and dropping on Friday the 27th. But they're going to release the first 2 episodes.
Oh, the show got pushed.
Yes.
Okay.
What were you referring to?
Well, I think it was originally slated to come on the 4th, and the new comic was also slated to come on the 4th.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a good idea for Disney Plus to. Yeah, they shouldn't come out on the 4th because you've got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming out on the 6th.
That would, yeah, be a little double
Don't why
dipping.
have them both the same week?
Yeah,
You can have almost. I mean, I understand one's TV and one's movie, but still, let's dominate the headlines separately.
yeah, that's true. Man, there's a lot coming down the pipe.
Supposedly, in that Kenobi, there's supposed to be leaked footage of a battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Oh,
So I don't know. I haven't seen it. It would make sense. Um, they're also supposed to address the time gap because if you see in the trailer, Obi-Wan looks like he's 40,
Yeah.
45, and you see a 10-year-old Luke. Well, why is it 8 years later when Luke is 18, Obi-Wan looks like he's
Right.
112?
Yeah, that's
So
true. I didn't make that connection, but now that you say it, it makes sense.
I didn't either until I saw that somebody said they're going to address the time gap, and I went, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what about
Okay,
that,
I
huh?
can see that.
Anthony, yeah, you're right. I've got that on my pull list. It's Tales of Black Karistan #1. That's coming out on the 4th as well.
I bet you Louise Julia's got that, or Julie Louise, I can't remember which. She's a girl in Ireland that does a lot of reaction
Hmm.
videos, and she's a tremendous fan of Star Wars, Black Chrysanthemum, Boba Fett, Grogu, the Mandalorian, Darth Vader, and Santi is her second favorite character though. Doctor Aphra is number one.
Mm.
Now I still think that Doctor Aphra will come to live action. Um, I think the only reason that she hasn't yet is because they're still making sure that the LGBTQ community will be received well.
Now I don't know. I don't know the story of Dr. Afra. Is she of that community?
Yes,
Okay.
and she is she works for Darth Vader, and she's kind of like an Indiana Jones archaeologist.
Oh, okay.
Right. But in the series that has the first appearance of Black Chrysanthemum, that's the 2016 Darth Vader. Darth Vader #1 had Black Chrysanthemum.
Okay.
Two episode issues later, #3 was the first appearance of Doctor Aphra.
Okay. Okay.
So as long as they're acknowledging one and putting it into canon, it stands to
Yeah.
reason that
It
yeah. And I
probably.
think we're going to see Black Chrysanthemum in the Obi-Wan series as well.
Very nice. Very cool.
In the comic books, he has a big scar on his head, which was received in a battle with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan got him with a lightsaber.
Aha. Okay.
And in Boba Fett, the fur is covering it a little bit, but you can see the scar. So I'm like, all right, so he's not only there, but he's got the scar.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. See, these is putting the puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I watch so much YouTube, it's not funny. When I went to Canada, I'm watching TV, and I haven't watched TV in 2 years. And every time a commercial comes on, I'm waiting for the button in the bottom corner that says skip ads, and it's never appearing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is real TV. I can't skip the
Oh, it's
ads.
so bad, isn't it? There's so many.
Yeah, the Dr. Afro, and I'll pull this one off the shelf. There is a 1 in 1,000 copy as well, but I don't own that. But I really should have kept the Skype on so I can see my own screen like an
No, you're
idiot.
good. It's showing up there.
Okay, there we go. Well, boom. So yeah, this is Dr. Afra's first appearance.
Very nice. I think the one.
I'm trying to see on the screen about this big a box.
It looks good. The 125 version. That's the. That's like they're like on a. I remember it was like wasn't that the scene where Luke and Vader were in Cloud City or something?
Right, and you're 100% right. It's the 1 in 25 version. And when I said the 1,000 copy limited, that's Clone Wars, first appearance of Ahsoka.
Okay. Okay.
See, this is why I need you, bud.
I got your back.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a student of the ratios. Not really, but you know.
I think they're so out of hand these days. It's ridiculous.
So, shameless self promotion here, but it's not really an active channel. But I made a few videos of where the idea was that I would cover all of the variants, and
Okay.
for big releases like Hulk 1 recently or Venom 1 recently, there are over 30 covers, and it's just insane.
Right.
Over 30 for each of them. It's nuts.
Well, what was the one a few months ago? It was a Black Panther #4 or 5, the 1 in 25 ratio. It went through the
Probably,
roof.
I think probably 3 because it was the first
3.
appearance of that new character Tosin Aduye.
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay. So, but the thing is that nobody was buying the Black Panther books, so not that many 1 in 25s were ordered.
Mm.
If a store got 50 copies, hoping they would sell 50 copies of Black Panther, even though nobody was purchase number 2 or number 1, and then it turned out to be a first appearance. Now stores only have 1 or 2 of the 1 in 25. So then the next month, everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want to miss the boat again. I'm going to buy the Black Panthers." And the stores are buying a bunch of Black Panthers so they can get 3 or 4 or 5 of the 1 in 25s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I try to stress is that if a book blows up, it's not only because it's a good book or first appearance, but because it's a lower print. And the fear of missing out the next one will drive up the orders, drive up the print, and then it's no longer rare.
So the 1 in 25 for that Black Panther 3, it's
Mm-hmm.
sitting right now at a fair market value of $390.
Okay. Everybody, if you're still watching, fantastic. I'm going to bring up a book that I bought recently for a little less than $390, and you tell me which one you would rather have in your collection. I got to go back to Skype so I can see this again. There I am.
There she is. Silver Surfer, baby.
Yes, it is the ugly brown cover, but this is number 50, the third appearance of Silver Surfer, second appearance of Galactus, and when Johnny Storm actually goes to college.
Yes,
Now, with
that's right.
shipping and tax, this came out to about $390. I'll take this 7 days a week and twice on Sunday over a Black Panther 1 in 25.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a legendary book, right? So
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying with some of these books. I would so much rather have a Silver Age book that will take your breath away than a modern book.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get the modern book at the cover price and then it blows up, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But I'm not really going to chase it that much. On the hope that Tosin becomes. I mean, what if Tosin becomes like the next Punchline?
Yeah.
How are Punchline books selling now?
Not
People got tired of her.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been in the industry as long as you, so I don't know if you can take Marvel at their word, but they really were pushing the narrative that he's going to affect like Wakanda for a long time coming ahead, moving ahead. So
you can take Marvel at their word that that's what their intention is. But if it's not received well by the fans, they'll change direction.
fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the Miss Marvel, the one with the new Miss Marvel series that's coming out, they probably had 6 different series trying to ram that down as this is a new character. It's a great character. Fans were like, nope, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So if the fans turn out that they don't like it, thank you, Anthony. He said it's an amazing Fantastic Four book. If the fans don't like Tosin or just and the sales drop, they'll change direction.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At which point, everybody that spent the money on it. But I mean, and on the flip side, if the book does do well, if the character does well, and it shoots up to 1,000, well, then that's a book I missed, and I'm okay with that. I'm never going to own every single expensive book.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, I got the main cover at cover price, and that's sitting around $50, so I'm happy about that.
Very nice.
And then I got 3 of the second print, which is the first cover of the guy himself, Tosin. So I got.
Anthony's asking if we think that Marvel is going to ever bring Galactus to the big screen.
They got it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially now that they've got the Eternals and the Celestials. Yeah. I mean, a big part of the storyline is that speculation is that one of the reasons that Galactus goes around eating worlds is to curb the birth of Celestials.
Okay, that would make sense.
I mean, it's a fan theory, but yeah, exactly. It makes sense, and they could easily work that in. Some people are sort of speculating that is why Thanos wanted to cut the population of the world of the universe in half, was to try to stop this. But if he went to get his legions, his armies and generals to follow him, was it the Black Guard or whatever they were called?
I don't know.
If he went to them and said, "Yeah, there's little baby Celestials inside a planet, and I have to cut down the population," they'd say it was crazy. But if you go up to him and say, "Look, there's finite resources. I'm trying to save the universe. I need you on my epic crusade," it's a nobler, it's a more believable cause. So he kind of lied to all his minions.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I love fan theories because even if they turn out to be nuts, it's still a really cool thought.
I mean,
thought process.
look at both of our faces. We have the biggest dumb smiles on our face because it's fun to like, go through these scenarios and think about it.
You said you watched Big Bang Theory, right?
I don't watch it. My parents love it.
There's so many scenes in the comic store.
Maybe I should. I can go back and look at it in a different lens now. Maybe.
I remember there was one where they were trying to figure out that if Man Bat bit Batman, would he be Man Batman, Man Batman, or Batman Bat?
Yes.
And somebody said, well, wouldn't he be Man Bat Batman, or would he be Batman Man Bat? And I'm sitting, my wife is looking and she goes, "That sounds ridiculous." And I said, "These are conversations I've had." Okay, I can remember having these kind of debates in comic book stores, standing over boxes going, "Do you think that this is..." I love the arguments that people get into online on Facebook. Like, who would win between Thor and Superman? And they get more heated than people debating who would win, God or Satan.
Yeah, or like politics or something.
Yeah. Trump or Biden has nothing compared to the argument that will happen between Superman and Thor.
Or Superman and Hulk. That's another popular one. Oh,
yeah. Well, World Breaker Hulk beats any version of Superman. I'm sorry.
You just had to get that in there, didn't you?
But straight up Superman against straight up Hulk, Superman wins.
There's are you familiar with Reddit at all, or do you know what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a subreddit called Who Would Win, and it's purely people posting hypotheticals and people breaking it down and giving their opinion on who would win. So there's all kinds of things from all kinds of media, not just superheroes and comics, but that's a fun place to visit if you got a few minutes.
So you pick whatever DC character you want, and I get to pick any character from Marvel I want, and we pit them against each other and see who would win.
We could, yeah. I mean, we could.
Okay, so what's your pick for DC?
This is just a fight, so I mean, is there really any other person than Superman?
I'll take Squirrel Girl.
Talk to me about that. This is because you got a 9.8 of the first appearance. Let everybody know.
Well, no, I bought that because I think of Squirrel Girl. I got a real rough reader version if you want to. Squirrel Girl, she kind of outsmarts everybody. She's beaten Galactus.
Well, then I didn't know that.
And the only thing she can do is she can talk to squirrels. She's got a bushy tail. But
in that case, can I retroactively change my character and you keep Squirrel Girl? Squirrel Girl?
Possibly.
So there's a Green Lantern from an alien squirrel named Chip, and he's a Green Lantern squirrel. That would be a nice.
So basically, the two of them are not going to fight. They're actually going to become friends and
go get drunk on acorn juice.
I didn't think of the acorn juice, but I did think about going and getting drunk. Okay.
So
that's cool. Oh, we got some text. What we got going on? I think DC should bring the Joker that laughs and Robin King to life for a great movie about the multiverse of DC. Anthony, I do agree with that. However, I don't want to see them waste those characters until... Greg, I don't want to insult you, but I think you'll agree with this. I think the DC universe needs to learn how to make a good movie first.
Get rid of Zack Snyder, man. Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
Aquaman was pretty decent. Like that's a modern one. I feel like was pretty good. But yeah, for the most part, like I kind of make this face when a new one comes out because I'm bracing. You know.
And I haven't seen the screen catch up yet, but I got a feeling I know what that face is.
Yeah, I just wince. You know.
Yeah. Here we
Yeah.
go.
So
Yep, there's the face. I see it now. Yeah, it's like when the doctor tells you, "I'm just going to put this needle in you. It's not going to hurt at all." Okay, no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. But and I, Sony seems to strike out with anything but Spider-Man.
Like literally
I mean, I
Spider-Man, not
was
even Spider-Man universe.
no, I mean, Homecoming I loved. Far From Home was okay, and No Way Home I thought was oh my god good. I watched that again when I went
I
to
need to watch
Canada.
that.
Should have went and seen it in French. That would have been funny.
Omelette du fromage. That's the only French I know. Cheese omelet.
I was going to say, what are you getting an omelet?
I only know that because of that cartoon Dexter's Laboratory.
uh, well, I mean, I did study a few years of French back in high school, which is a long time ago. Back when I had to take the horse and buggy to school. But it's good because when the other people in the company are talking, you can tell if they're talking about you.
Yeah.
Anthony says, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Dark Knight was the last good DC movie. I liked the first Wonder Woman.
I thought it was
I
good
thought that
too.
the final act could have
Yeah.
been better. I didn't see Aquaman yet, but I don't have HBO.
It's on like every Sunday on TNT.
Aquaman?
all the DC movies are. I feel like they spam them on TNT or TBS.
I'm going to have to check TNT because, again, I don't have any streaming TV service. I just have an internet connection and I use my Roku. That's why I can skip the ads.
You know?
But yeah, I'll definitely check into that. And I can't wait to see Wonder Woman 84. I basically just want to put it on mute and just stare at Gal Gadot for 2 hours. I don't really care what's being said.
I applied to be an extra in that movie because they had a scene filmed in a derelict mall. Relatively close to me, like about an hour away.
Okay.
I didn't take the process further. I kind of got cold feet, and I was like, I'm also having a newborn at the time, so
Yeah, I can just picture that. 15 years from now, you're watching. Your wife is watching this with your 15-year-old son, correct? At that point, and say, "Is he in the background? Is he in the background? Yep, there's your daddy. That's where he was when you were being born."
Yeah, and all it is like my left ear lobe is the only thing that like made it to the to be seen.
Well, then you could look at her and go, "You're just jealous because I'm in the movie and you're not."
Yeah.
I'm reaching for something here.
Yes, I
Yeah,
agree
recall.
with you, Anthony. I actually bought a comic because of that rumor. He said Disney's going to bring back the Rocketeer.
I like the Rocketeer. I love Jennifer Connelly in that.
Gosh, yeah.
I hope they do better with the bad guy instead of just where's the rocket? Where's the rocket?
I think it was. I'm gonna dig that comic out. Is it okay?
Sure.
You can filibuster.
Gee, I don't know how to talk. Well, well, I mean, I've pulled out one of my black boxes. I've got the black. I use these boxes for my slabs.
Oh, you
And I figured, yes, like that one and 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 that one. And what I did was I don't put them away in any specific order, which is why it's that much more of a chore for me to switch the books behind me. Yep.
There it is.
BCW. So I just grabbed one of the boxes, and again, no idea what's in it. It could be good books, could be bad books, could be a mixture of both. And I figured I'd pull them out and talk about them. And ooh, now this is what I'm glad I pulled out first. I have to go back to Skype. Here we go.
There it is.
So like I said, I do have some of the key books. That's why I wanted to put it together. So yeah, it's only an 8.0 off white to white, but Star Wars 43, which is first appearance of Yoda. Okay, put the glasses on. God, this thing's getting old. No, it's not a first of Yoda. No, 40.
43. You
No, I
have
thought
43
43.
there.
Yeah, it should be a first of Yoda and first of
Uh,
or is
all right.
41 first Yoda?
43 is the first Lando in a U.S. comic
Right,
book, and the second appearance of Boba Fett. That's what I.
but they don't have any of the notes at all on the book. That's interesting. You think that with especially since Lando has his own comic series and everything, they would have made that
The
note?
first cameo of Yoda is 41. So
Okay.
I guess, and I don't see a first full here in this list.
Star Slayer was his first appearance. Now, I did hear from the grapevine that Disney is going to bring back Rocketeer. Star Slayer was his first appearance. Was that one of the Star Wars books or Star Slayer number 2? I'm not even familiar with the series of Star Slayer. So I think Star Slayers is a character that his first appearance was Star Wars number 9, but that was what Star Slayer as a kid.
Oh no, he's
Kind of like saying,
wait. Are we talking about what are we talking about?
I think we're talking about Lando.
No, Star Slayer. He's referencing the Rocketeer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Because there is a character in Star Wars named Star Slayer.
oh, that would make sense. But yeah, no, I was. I don't know if you saw, but I held up the first.
Oh, no, I didn't. Let me. I want to switch to Skype on this one so I can actually see this one in full size. Oh, that's
It's
nice.
not the first appearance, but I think it's the first cover appearance of Rocketeer.
No, that's a cool book
Yeah,
though.
yeah, no, I like it. It's a I don't know. It's cool. It's retro.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like his eyes though in behind the
Yeah,
mask. It
yeah,
makes him look like a bad guy.
yeah. Absolutely. It's like
I'm going to Rocketeer you.
I'm gonna Rocketeer you.
You've been blasted.
I'm gonna Rocketeer you real good. It's like
Well, I mean, we are talking about Jennifer Connelly, so
um, it's like when I see Iron Man renditions where like the eye holes just go straight to his eyes. I
yeah.
don't like that.
Well, did you watch Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff like that?
I didn't.
Um, in the very end of Clone Wars, season 7, and I believe, well, I know there's a fight scene in Rebels also, but the glass of Darth Vader's mask is more translucent,
Oh.
and you can actually see Anakin's eyes. It's almost like uh, crimson sunglasses instead of all blacked
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So, um, and he gets part of his mask cut, and you can actually see part of his face with his eye in the Clone Wars. I mean, in Rebels. So, yeah, it does take something away from it when you can see the eyes. When you're just not used to
Oh, I
seeing
see
them.
what you're saying. I looked it up here. Yeah. Ew. I don't like it.
Well, it's like somebody that you've known their entire life that wears glasses and they take their glasses off and they look like a totally
Yeah.
weird person. Grab the next book in here. Oh, I think should I have one of that? My next book is a Shadecraft, number 1.
Shadecraft. Oh. Yeah. Aren't they doing something with that?
I think this has been optioned. I'd like to see it as one. I mean, that's why I got a couple copies of it. These were ones I bought raw and sent in graded and got 9/8 on them. God, I don't remember the story so much
No, I
anymore.
don't.
It's kind of reminds me of um, the shadows that dragged you in Ghost. Remember the shadows that used to come and drag you to
Yeah.
hell in the movie
Yeah.
Ghost? Well, I think here it's you have to stay in the light because the shadows actually are attacking you. I can't remember. I remember reading it and saying interesting, but then I stopped and don't didn't keep up with
Yeah,
it.
I've done that a lot.
This one I was disappointed in the grade. I had a Nottingham number and a 9.4.
Uh, sometimes
Yeah.
you just, I feel like the grader just is having like a bad day or something.
I sent in 2 copies, hoping for 9.8s on both, and I got 9.4 and 9.6. I'm like, come on.
Give me
I think I paid top dollar for them too, because I Nottingham is a story about the sheriff of Nottingham from Nottingham's point of view.
a noir retelling of
Yep.
the Robin Hood story with the sheriff of Nottingham investigating a murder of tax collectors by terrorists known as the Merry Men, led by quote Hood.
Hey, you know what? It worked for Maleficent.
I like that. How did I not hear about this? Oh, because it came out when I first started getting into comics.
Whoa, Anthony just picked up a copy of Star Wars number 43 in great condition for $8 at a pawn shop.
Dang, dude.
Nice, very nice. Talk about a honey hole there.
I was gonna
Woo.
say, what did you call that the other day when we were talking? Honey
Yeah,
hole. That's awesome, man.
that's where bears just go and they stick their paw in and they come back out with honey. Like, ooh, yummy. And then they don't let any of the other bears know that exists.
Yeah, and you clean it up around the lip so it looks barren and doesn't. Never mind. This is going.
Like, what are you eating? Muffin? Muffin. Muffin. Muffin.
That's awesome, man.
This one I actually bought off of. Southern Comic Geek has a Saturday auction, which today was another one that I missed because I had to go to a kid's roller skating birthday party. But it was Walking Dead number 100 and a PGX 9.8.
Ah,
It was a first PGX, first and only PGX books that I bought. But I know that there are Walking Dead fans out there, and oh geez, and I just figured that someday when I'm looking for giveaways, to have a nice 9.8 Walking Dead book would be nice.
my question to you. I've been wondering this. Are you? Would you ever crack a 9.8 PGX to try to get a 9.8 CBCS or CGC? Or is that too risky for you?
No, it's not too risky. It depends on the book.
Okay.
And how much I had put into it, and also how much the price difference is between a 9.8 and 9.6. If I can look at it and it looks like it genuinely is a 9.8, I'm going to definitely consider it. You'll find a lot of times that a 9.6 CGC sells for the same price as a 9.8 PGX. If that's the case, I would give it a shot because the only thing you're losing is the price of the grading and about a year of your life while you're waiting.
And the shipping. Ugh.
Yeah, which if you're sending it in with
Well,
a bunch of other books,
true.
it splits it up a little bit. It comes out to like what, $10 a
Yeah.
book, something like that. I'd be willing to pull a trigger on something like that, but if I've got a 5.0 Hulk 181 with the Marvel value stamp and a PGX, I'm not doing it either way. I'm leaving it alone.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Because the day that I crack it open, it'll be the day I have hay fever and go, I said to. No! 1.5 CGC. Congratulations.
So, I got, like I was telling you, I got this Something's Killing the Children 1.
Yep.
And it came as a 9.6, but I was like, no, sir. I'm cracking that. And it's on its way to CBCS right now.
Did you have it pressed and cleaned? Or?
So, it was clean to my eyes. I looked at it very carefully. I have like a little magnifying glass on like a boom arm like this. So I look up close. There was a little bit of creasing. So I pressed it overnight myself.
Cold press or hot press?
It's a hot press. I think you can kind of see in the background the handle of it. It's one of those.
Oh, you got like a t-shirt press. Great.
It's the highest rated of those from all the groups that I've seen.
You don't need it to be. You just need to have some heat so that way the pressing keeps.
Yeah.
Cold press will come back.
Yeah. So basically I press it at a 160 for 10 minutes, and then
Uh-huh.
I leave it pressed, shut it off, and let it sit for overnight or
Yep.
maybe.
Exactly the best way to do it. Let's that way it cools down, it
Yeah,
settles.
and it can't. There's no room for it. So I sent it to CBCS, and we'll see.
Anthony's asking, what books are we looking forward to the most this month?
Ooh, well, I can tell you that.
Yeah, please go right ahead. I can tell you that I keep missing the pull list because I keep forgetting to look on previews to see what's coming out.
Um, I'm pulling Hulk and Venom, so definitely those, and
Okay.
Moon Knight, and Miles Morales is really heating up that
hmm
series, so I started pulling that one. Um, Strange Academy.
Wasn't that is that on hiatus or is that back now?
It's got one more issue, and then it's gonna go to like year 2. But I
Okay.
don't even know if they're gonna keep Scotty Young as writing it, which is weird to me since he created it. But I don't know. And then I'm also pulling X-Men Red. There you go. There you
Ah,
go. You got me beat. Let me. Time to flesh.
this was off the shelf cover price.
Oh, badass. You got me. You got me beat, but I still got a pretty good one. Also, first, just a little.
I love that cover.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. It's kind of like,
It is. I love that cover
but
though.
yours is worth more. But whatever. Um,
It's not always about the
you're
worth.
right.
I mean, it's about
You're right.
so.
You're right. But yeah, Al Ewing is a really good author, in my opinion, writer. So he's doing the new X-Men Red, where X-Men are on Mars. So that'll be
Okay.
an interesting one that I'm pulling. So that's kind of what I'm pulling up ahead, along with Kenobi and stuff like that.
I'm actually make myself little notes here. Yeah, I've got, you know what? I'm on vacation. I've got no excuse. I got to take the time tomorrow to go through previews, see what's coming out over the next couple of months, and fill up my pull list, which is dwindlingly low. Um, there were books that I subscribed to that I don't even read anymore. I'm like, why am I still paying for these books?
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, we only find them when they're dead. I knew I didn't like that on issue 2, but I think I got the entire, all of them.
yeah,
It's kind of like signing up for a gym membership and then you never go.
it's so true, man. When I first was starting, I was like, oh, I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna pull this, and I pulled so much, and then it was just like too much. So I had to like really streamline what I was picking up. So I know the feeling.
Yeah, I mean now it's I try to go to FOC Final Order
Mm-hmm.
Cutoff, which for Marvel DC is Sunday. The rest of everybody else I think is Monday, but and try to see what are the ones that I scroll through and say, yep, I would like that, I'd like that, but I'm not taking the time like I should to go out next week and the week after and the week after and a month after and a month after.
It's tough.
I got very lucky with the Timeless Miss Minutes cover because I did when I looked at the previews, I did not like a single cover, and there was one that had no picture available. I'm like, well, maybe that one will be better, and I bought a few copies of that, and that turned out to be the Miss Minutes.
Yeah, I remember you had like 5 of them or something.
I got 3 from the store, and then I ordered another 3 just as it was starting to heat up. I think I paid like $12 a piece for it, so I had 6 total that I submitted
Worth it.
for grading.
Worth it.
And I mean, it shot up to like 45, 50. It's now settled back down to 25.
Yeah.
But when Loki season 2 hits, or if you see Miss Minutes, I'll laugh if I see Miss Minutes in the Doctor Strange movie.
Just flying across the screen, just half second. No pun
Well,
intended.
I mean, if they have anything with the Time Variant Police or Kang or anything, it's possible.
That's true. That's true. Um,
If she's in an end credit scene, I'll laugh.
Yeah, I got Timeless for the cover price, and then I sold it for $40. I was like, I can't justify not making 56 or $36 on this.
Catfan Comics Man says this FOC is Spider-Man 2099 Exodus Alpha, where he teams up with Ghost Rider.
Oh wow.
I honestly don't know if I like the sound of Spider-Man 2099 and Ghost Rider together. I don't know how that would play out.
Oh,
But
sorry. Anthony brings up a great
go
point.
ahead.
Hulk 6, yes. Everybody's buzzing about this one because it's the first cover appearance of, I want to say, his name's Mayhem? Is that right, Anthony? It's like, so if you don't know, the current run of Hulk, Bruce Banner / Hulk is has split his psyche into 3 entities.
Wait, no, we're not talking about Moon Knight anymore.
No. This is Bruce
Okay.
Banner. This is Bruce Banner. This is the Donny Cates current run of Hulk.
I'm Bruce Banner. I work. I sell. I work at a gift shop in London.
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 So it's really abstract, but he's essentially physically, from what I understand, in Hulk mode, as in like in the physical world, he's Hulk, but in his mind, he is Bruce Banner piloting Hulk, and the Hulk is powered by Mayhem, this other entity. So like when Hulk needs to get physical in the real world, he agitates the Mayhem entity. It's really abstract. And correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, if you know more than me. I don't. This is what I understand though. Yeah. So, but yeah. So
I'm picturing now Mark Ruffalo inside the Hulkbuster outfit, then tripping over a rock. But
kind of, yeah. Like the let me find the covers to give you an idea.
While you're looking at that, I'll pull the next one out of the box. What do we have? Oh, this one's not supposed to be in here. This is actually one of my wife's. Actually, so is that. There's a few books in here that are hers. That's definitely hers. That's definitely hers. Okay. This was actually the first book I got for her, and I didn't know if she was going to like it or not. And let's see. It's 1961 Chippendale, not the dancer. Chippendale number 26 from Dell Publishing, off-white to white pages, and a 9.6. Chippendale are her favorite Disney characters. Well, that and Pluto. And it's called a file copy. Now, if you see a file copy for sale anywhere, what that basically means is that when companies print the comic books, they always save a few copies that they can reference later on down the line. Like, yeah, didn't we already do that story? Or didn't I already draw that? Or wasn't that ad on page 6 before? They can go through and pull out the file copy and check. So if these copies sit in the drawer and never get pulled off a reference, they stay in immaculate condition. I don't know if this is something that people consider to be a benefit or a detriment. I mean, to me, a comic book is a comic book, whether it was stuck in a cabinet for 50 years or if it was in somebody's private collection. It doesn't really matter to me. I could crack that out and send it in for grading, and they would never know it was a file copy. Also, this is the old label, so good clean and press. I might get lucky with a 9.8. There are 9.8 off-white to white pages, so if you were wondering about that, you got to be really, really perfect. Anthony says that you are right in your description of Mayhem.
Okay, cool. This is the second print of issue 2, but you can see Bruce Banner is there piloting Hulk from inside his head, essentially.
That's sick.
But it's not it's virtually.
No, I mean good sick. You know?
Yeah. So everybody's going crazy over this number 6 because it's going to be the first cover of Mayhem, and he's like a black Hulkish looking thing. So I got a few.
No relation to Dark Black Winter or Who's the Spawn? I mean, the Venom King.
Oh, Null.
No, yeah.
No, no. I mean,
Anytime there's a black hulking figure, I start to wonder.
yeah, no.
Maybe it's Mephisto. I'm just kidding.
Mephisto, dude.
Right now, I'm sure there's somebody out there loading up the Nicolas Cage, not the bees again.
Look what I got my hands on.
No, no. That's a facsimile.
Yeah, $3.99.
Oh, okay. I had to go to full screen. I'm like, no.
And this.
And if you did, God love you. Okay, wait. Put that back up there. Oh, that's another facsimile.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in a facsimile like mode right now. Deadpool.
Well, I don't even own the facsimile on the Deadpool. I don't own any copy of that, whether it's facsimile or not. I do have the Star Wars.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. And you got it for cheaper than you
going
thought,
back-
right?
Going back all the way to 1977,
Yeah.
this is the first copy of a first print I've ever owned. I had the reprint. I still have the reprint that I bought back in 1977, but I never had a first copy until this year.
That's awesome.
Darth Vader being green.
Yeah. And the lightsabers being like very pointy and toothpicky.
I love the facsimiles. What worries me about the facsimiles is so many people that try to pass them off as originals and try to, to get real prices.
Facsimile.
Yeah. But that's the one that somebody submitted to CGC and got back a full authentic label.
Ooh. As in it was like considered the real thing.
Yes. Somebody, and they bragged about it on YouTube that I submitted this and wrote down that it was the original and it passed CGC and he got it back as a 9.8 and was bragging about it saying, see, this is the facsimile, but they said they screwed up and said it was the real one. Only because you submitted it as a real one, you tried to sneak it by. And now what are you going to do with that? Because if you don't crack that and throw it in the garbage or in a fire, you're trying to rip somebody off.
That's weird. Who is it on at that point? I mean, I feel like some of that's on CGC as well.
I'd say 70-30 CGC.
Yeah, dude.
Because we're paying that much money and it goes through a peer review.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken about CGC, I believe it's supposed to be great. Each book is graded by 5 people. They take the average, then it goes to a supervisor who verifies that average is correct, and then it's okay.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I did talk to CGC Thursday, by the way. Or Friday, because I had to pay for my pre-screen.
Oh.
So, not that long ago, I talked about CBCS billing you as soon as they open the box, but CGC doesn't bill you until they're ready to ship out. And especially with the long lead times, I didn't think it was right that the company would bill you, keep the money in their account for a year before you get your books back.
Yeah.
So I had my pre-screen that was coming up. I was in Canada, and they received 2 of my submissions and immediately billed me for them as soon as they received them. And then I had to pay for the pre-screen. Guess what? My bank account wasn't ready for all 3 of them at the same time. So I got the email. I'm like, yeah, I know. You'll have to wait 2 days till payday. So but I called up and I talked to customer service. And I said, you guys change your policy that you bill now as soon as you receive it? And let me tell you, I know CBCS's customer service has gotten better. I still like CGC's honesty. The woman told me that it has always been CGC's policy to bill upon receipt.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is there's been an accounting error in a loop for like 2 years.
Oh.
And they've never fixed the error. But now Black Diamond bought it at controlling interest, and they had their own accountants come in and go, why are you not billing until it leaves? You should be billing as soon as you receive it. And they fixed the error.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm like, again, I'm okay with that, but maybe you guys could have sent out an email going, by the way, we fixed our screw up, and now you're going to have to pay way in advance. Just prepare yourself. She said, "Yeah, you'd be surprised how many phone calls we get every day because of it." And I'm like, look, I understand you guys are still doing a great job. My pre-screen was received in November, and they're getting ready to ship out.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Do you stay away from FastPass?
Yeah, I do, because I think it's rude. I just want to get the
Yeah.
comments real quick. Electra Black, White and Blood #4 has Eastman on the artwork and supposedly a turtle appearance. Really?
Yeah.
And oh yeah, you said I heard about. I'm like, and I was, and Greg said, wait, no, that's you. I heard about that. I'm getting that one too. Love me some TMNT. Anthony says coming out in May and definitely on my poll list. So Electra Black and White, Blood #4. TMNT. Okay. So here's my feelings about Fast Pass and Express and everything else. I am fully for it, provided it goes to a separate address with separate graders and everything
Okay.
else. And here's why. I have a submission upstairs that I still have to make a video of. I haven't seen the books yet. I don't know the
I don't know how you do
grades.
that.
I'm like gaining anxiety because that box has been sitting there for 2
Yeah, that's
days.
tough.
It is, man. And I know if I just go to
Yeah.
the app, I can see the grades. I won't do it. I won't do it because then my video will be a lie. And I don't
Fair.
want that. But still, I want to see it. When I sent that submission in, the lead time was 17 weeks. Now it was delivered to them. I rechecked the tracking information and everything that I had written down. It was delivered to them the second week of May. So 11 months ago. I thought it was 12, but it was 11 months ago. They received it into their system. It says July 4th. Yeah, right there we're working on the 4th of July, which last year, by the way, was a Sunday. I think that means the week of. But fine. At that time, it said turnaround time, 17 weeks. So that means from where I stood in line with my books, they knew how many people were in front of me and the average time it took to do those books. And based on that calculation, I should take 17 weeks. It took 42. Sorry, no, 46 by the time I came through. From the time it was received by them. By the time it was in their system, 42. Why? Because of FastPass.
Because other people.
Because everybody else was able to pay an extra $2 per book and, okay, hey, we'll jump you in line. We'll jump you in line. We'll jump you in line. That's not fair to the people that are just saying, look, here's $24 a book. Please grade my books. I mean, imagine if you were standing in line at the supermarket, ready to pay for your groceries, and somebody said, for an extra 1%, I'll let you cut in front of this person. And next thing you know, everybody's willing to pay that extra 1% because they don't want to wait 42 weeks. It's a cash grab. They're taking advantage of the long lead times to push the people that have paid basic amount of money further back in line, which blows the lead time out of proportion, which makes everybody now want to pay FastPass. So I'm very much against it. Oh, we have another Brandon Looney Tune fan 2000. Hey, what's up, Doc?
Yeah.
Bugs is the one character I can't do.
You know what? I have a fun comic to show off that's kind of related tangentially.
Okay.
Speaking of Looney Tunes, so like I said, I'm a Green Lantern fan, and a really famous cover is Green Lantern number 49, and that's Hal Jordan with a bunch of Green Lantern rings going crazy.
Yep.
And it's been homaged quite a bit, so...
Was that Hal Jordan or was that Tom Brady?
That was a really good wheeze laugh. Yes, this is, I can confirm.
Okay, just
Hal
want to
Jordan.
make sure.
So I like to collect homages of that. One of them being Green Lantern number 46, and it's a Marvin the Martian homage.
What happened to the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Exactly.
Delays, always delays.
And I will say they did a really cool mashup, DC did, of Marvin the Martian and Martian Manhunter. They did it was a great book. I liked that one a lot.
Anthony Wheeler's asking, do you think it's time for a Namor?
Oh, hell yeah.
It's time for Namor. Now, Anthony, yes, I do, but I think for all the new generation fans or the people that have gotten into comics because of the MCU and the DCEU, they're not going to know that Namor came out way before Aquaman. And I think they're going to think that that Namor is a copy of Aquaman, not realizing that he predates him by 20, 25 years. Just like in the Moon Knight series, Steven is actually a billionaire. And it's because of, a billionaire playboy that puts on a costume and goes around and beats up people at night. Gee, who does that sound like? A lot of people thought that Moon Knight was a Batman ripoff when it first came out. So I think that's why they made Steven a broke as shit gift shop salesman with an abnormally large apartment for London, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a bigger apartment than I have a house, and he's working in a gift shop selling stuff that nobody wants to buy. How much can he make?
It's a flat, okay? When you're over there, it's a flat.
Flat. Okay, sorry. If you look at my dimensions, there's nothing I understand about flat.
I'm as skinny as they come.
Man, let's get the pizza. Let's see who can devour more.
Let me fact check you real quick on the Namor Aquaman thing, buddy.
Okay.
So Namor first appeared in Motion Picture Funnies Weekly, April 1939. Aquaman's first appearance was in More Fun Comics number 73 in November 1941. So Namor was definitely first, but 2 years.
Barely. But barely. Yeah. Okay. So I'm factual, but by the skin of my teeth is what you're saying. Well, what about the Human Torch?
Did he? Yeah, I did. So did they eventually take this Human Torch and make him into Fantastic Four Human Torch, or is it totally
completely different? Completely different. Same idea, same powers, I believe, but different person, different origin.
Okay.
Different everything.
Marvel Comics 1939 for him. Okay.
But getting back to the Namor, though, I think they really do want to get Namor in, because Namor in Atlantis is the biggest rival to Wakanda.
Yes.
But they have to do it properly so that it doesn't look like they're copying DC.
I agree. I actually bought a few books in speculation of that happening specifically.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of rumors over the years that I've researched. I mean, the rumors happened years ago. I've researched this year. But they were talking about like some crack under the ocean that was seen for a short period of time, that they were like, oh, that's going to be Namor. But I don't know.
Well, that was actually in the beginning of Endgame.
Yeah.
It was listed as a subduction under the ocean. And well, what are we going to do about that? Well, it's an earthquake under the ocean. We're not going to do anything. But that was a thought. It was who's the general for the Wakandan army? I can't remember her name.
Oh,
she was the one that was talking to Scarlet, and people felt that she was sweeping it under the rug, like, we're Wakanda, we'll handle this on our own. This doesn't have to go through the Avengers.
Okoye, is that her name?
Okoye, thank you. I'm bad with names, but as far as books for Namor, we got Close Enough Together, though, where DC directly ripped off Marvel. I'm not going to say that one, and there's a lot of ripping off that goes between the two, but I'm not going to say that they ripped off Marvel because back in those days there was still so many characters that were not invented that it was almost carte blanche. You can make any character you want. Right now, the well's pretty run dry as far
Yeah.
as original ideas. Um, I'm not going to just flat out accuse them of ripping off Namor at that one. Especially when at the same time period they were coming out with Superman and Batman. So their creativity was really at a peak back then. Um, there are 3 books that have the special once in a lifetime issue banner on it. One is Iron Man #1.
Okay.
One is Submariner #1, which I have that one up for grading. I don't own an Iron Man #1, but the other one, and I'm going to make sure I switch to my full screen so I can
That's
see
a
it.
good point. Sorry,
Iron Man and Submariner #1. There's a trio of books that have this logo.
Oh yeah, the little award looking thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So this one is still flying under the radar, and in preparation for, they all came out, I believe, the same month or this, at least within a month or two of each other. Maybe this one's dated as in April 68. Wow, April 68. Captain America 100 came out in that the same month. Great month. And I think when Submariner does hit, Submariner #1 is already up there. I think that this one is the one that's flying under the radar and may be a good opportunity to try and pick up. He said I was joking about DC, by the way.
No joking.
No, about them ripping off Marvel.
I know.
I think they are waiting on Namor because he is one of the first mutants.
That's a good point. Do
you think that was Namor as a kid in Eternals?
I don't know. But I feel like there's some credence to that mutants argument because they're trying to figure out how to bring X-Men in.
I think there's a lot of different theories. The one I kind of subscribe to is it's either in Thor: Love and Thunder or in the Guardians of the Galaxy. You're going to see the High Evolutionary, which is somebody that quickly evolves people. Yeah. And I got a feeling they're going to bring mutants from a cosmic standpoint to Earth, unless for some reason, I don't know, maybe Tiamat being born and being frozen released enough radiation that he genetically altered some people in Eternals. There's got to be some redeeming factor for that movie.
Oh, yeah. That was a slog. I actually have this Chrome plugin that allows me to speed up or slow down video playing on my browser. So I watched the movie at like 1.25 speed or 125% speed just because it was just like...
I think that could have been so much better as a Disney Plus series.
Yes, absolutely.
They had broken that up into eight episodes, giving you a chance to develop the characters, develop the villains, care about them.
Yeah.
And, it just seemed too rushed.
I cared more about Kit Harington's character in the 5 minutes he was on screen at the beginning and the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean...
And Blade's voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel about Blade being played by anybody but Wesley Snipes?
So I have a real soft spot for Blade 1 and 2. I loved those movies. I mean,
I even loved number 3.
I mean, 3 was fun, but like 1 and 2 really, like, those were like some of the earlier rated R movies that I can remember watching, and I really liked them. And one of my favorite lines is, "Some mother bleep was always trying to ice skate uphill."
Yep. I think everybody in here is over 18, and we also did click "This is not made for kids." My favorite line of that is in part 2 when they're standing outside the blood bank.
Yeah.
And he's telling the police chief or whatever to open the door. I can't. They'll kill me. Motherfucker, I'll kill you. I'll just enjoy it more. I can't picture anybody saying that better than Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, he was so good for it. But
always been on black.
I mean, I think his name's Mahershala Ali, right? He's
Yeah.
gonna be taking the mantle? I mean, he's a very accomplished actor, so
They bring in the X-Men, what version of Wolverine? What we will we see? Ooh, I don't know. I'd like to see more of the original type of Wolverine, the Weapon X that was developed by Canada to fight the Hulk. The loner, which we kind of saw in the 1999 version of X-Men. Was that the year that X-Men came out?
99 or 2000, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, I really love Jackman's portrayal and the way that character was perceived at that time, where I don't need any of you. He's a complete
Yeah.
loner. Um, I think I'd like to see a character that needs a lot of growth. It's very raw, very animalistic, and that's the one that I would like to see. I don't want to see a refined Wolverine at this point.
No, no. I mean, that's the essence of what Wolverine is, at least to me, is almost Hulk levels of unhingedness. Like,
Yeah.
smash my beer bottle. You want to go, punk? You know, like that kind
Well,
of.
I mean, a Wolverine, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a badger,
Yeah.
but it is a ferocious, ferocious
Yeah.
animal. It is pound for pound the most ferocious animal on the planet.
Yeah.
Like if you were to take a Wolverine and expand it to the size of a lion, it will decimate a lion
Humankind would not
or a
be.
tiger or
We
anything
wouldn't
else.
be around. Humankind would be gone.
No, that would be the top of the food
Yes.
chain.
Yeah. Comics Man mentioned with mutants, I think they are going to do Scarlet Witch. No
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 more
more
mutants
mutants backwards.
backwards. I've seen that fan theory. I like it. I like it in the House of X. Greg, are you familiar with that at all?
That was one of the first comics I bought. Was not House of X, but Way of X #1. But go
Okay.
ahead. Why don't you give me the breakdown?
Well, she basically utters the words "no more mutants," and what is it like? 90% of mutants in the universe just gone. That's it.
Oh wow,
It's yeah. I mean, she is you. Did you ever watch Lucifer, the TV series?
I didn't.
Okay, Lucifer in the TV series, which is based on Gaiman's Lucifer, is so underpowered. You don't really understand how powerful he is in the comics.
Mm,
Same thing with Scarlet Witch in the MCU.
really?
Okay, she is not just red bolts coming out here and making hey, you know what? She encapsulated an entire town inside a hex.
Yeah.
That's like, man, she does that while she's doing the dishes, just as a back thought. Okay. Yeah, she is, as they say, more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. She can defeat just about anybody. I mean, I get into arguments before WandaVision about her being more powerful than Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, Miss Marvel, he pulled out the Power Stone and knocked her across the battlefield. You realize that Wanda, with one hand, is destroying an Infinity Stone, while the other hand is holding back a 5-stone Thanos. She's multitasking and beating the hell out of and stopping Thanos and destroying and she wasn't even discovered her power yet. So yeah, I'm such a fan of Scarlet Witch, Wanda. I'm hoping she probably will take the dark side, the evil, the bad guy side for a short time, but I hope that she comes back, and I would love to see her as the way mutants come in. I would love it.
I mean, it makes sense. She's hot right now. You know, she's on everyone's mind. Everybody likes the way she portrays her. So
Okay, Anthony says when they bring in the X-Men, what version of Wolverine? Yeah, I saw that already. Catman says they ended up being around 100 mutants left in the whole world.
in that storyline,
And I mean, if you remember in the X-Men movie, granted it's based on it, him going into Cerebro and seeing all the red dots all the way around the world.
yeah,
It wasn't one or two. I mean, there was tens of thousands. So, I mean, it was the ultimate blip.
yeah.
When she did when she did that, Thanos sat back going, damn.
Oh man,
Hey, I don't want... Star Wars Bounty Hunters. This is, I think, the 1 in 10 or the 1 in 25. I picked this one up. It just looked cool, and my wife wanted it. It was a bad submission, and I think it was the only 9.8 I got out of the entire submission.
Oh,
And I said to her, "Do you want it?" She's like, "Oh yeah, it's got Boba Fett."
she's.
I'm like, "Yeah, sure, it's yours. I don't care."
I, at the recommendation of you, got this bad boy and got it signed.
Awesome.
Um, I am a huge fan of the Image Supermassive Radiant Black verse that's going on. Are you
Right.
into that at all?
I haven't read it yet, which I'm sure Deegan is going to kill me. But
Incriminate yourself.
is that one signed?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's he used like a iridescent blue. It's kind of tough to see, but you can see across here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to send that one to CBCS.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I know, I think they still have copies left, and you could have Syndicate Comics send it to CGC if you wanted a gold label from them. But I think you'd have to buy another copy at that point.
We'll see. I'll have to see.
I've got something upstairs, and if you can like fill in the blank for 60 seconds, I'm gonna go grab it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Like I'm on Comic Gories. I gotta hurry up and get the book.
So, one of the things that I was, well, I'll just show you what I'm the most proud of I have in my collection. It's also worth the most, but I'm also in love with the character. It's the first appearance of an anti-hero from DC. It is Omega Men #3, and this is the first appearance of Lobo at a 9.8, and I just love this so much. And I love Lobo. He's such a badass. He's the main man, as they say. So there he is.
I'm back. Yay!
I was showing him my first appearance of Lobo 9.8 that I got.
Oh, killer!
Yeah, man. This is my crown jewel, quote unquote.
That's a nice book to have, man. I don't have any copies, and I'm trying to get a decent 9.6 for not too much.
That's one that I got graded. So I got it raw and I graded. I didn't buy it that way.
Oh man, that's sweet. That really is. So the copy of Slumber.
Okay.
The book that just came out. They had the same artist that did that Supermassive you were just holding, Deegan Pecors.
Yes.
He did a limited copy for Things from Another World, and see if I can get this up there.
There it is. Yeah, that's perfect. Wow. Freaky.
And yeah, it really, really is. There's a lot of eye candy on this book. So I'm glad I remembered to bring it down because I have my press around here too, and I want to get these both pressed and ready so I can bring them in on Tuesday when I go to the store. I'm off this week, so I'm gonna go to Syndicate and help them bag and board all the new comics for New Comic Book Day. And John was asking me, "You don't mind?" I'm like, "To me, that's fun."
Yeah,
okay, yeah. I'll pay admission for that. Okay, I get to hang out in a comic book store all day, bagging and boarding and talking comics. Yeah.
Does Syndicate bag and board all your purchases?
Every book that comes in is bagged and boarded.
Syndicate, please open up a branch in Northern Virginia. Thank you.
Seriously.
Signed off, Comic Lover.
Yep.
Please.
Seriously. These guys that, like I said, they understand it's a business. They are trying to make money, but it's a hobby first.
Yeah.
There's two guys. One, the guy that owns it, and the other one, I don't know if he's a partner or just like lifetime friend and works with him or whatever. Yeah. The funny part is they're both named John. So when you say, "Hey, John," it's kind of like the Peter Parker meme.
You're right.
Him. But John was telling John, I loved it. Worker John was telling owner John. Yeah. I told you a long time ago, I'll continue doing this with you till the day I die, as long as it remains being fun. and that's the whole key to
That's
it.
great, man. Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
I do like Lobo. He is cool. So yeah, absolutely. The fact that you got a Raw, did you pick that up at a show or where did you get that?
No, I actually, since I've been into comics, I haven't gone to any shows, just because of the pandemic. But um, I had been looking,
Well, it's not just you. You got to worry about what you bring home to your family.
right, because I have my 2-year-old doesn't have any immunity, just because he wasn't in mom when she got her shot, and he's too young to get the shot. And my
Right.
mother-in-law and father-in-law will live with us, and they're older. So, but anyway, um, I got it on eBay. I love Lobo. I think he's so cool. He's an anti-hero, and he's gone toe-to-toe with Superman on multiple occasions. So I just think he's
Hmm.
cool. And I got it on eBay on Black Friday, and I offered the dude. I think he was asking 100 for it, and I was like, "What about 85?" And he was like, in the spirit of Black Friday, yeah, sure, I'll sell it to you for 85. So I bought it for 85,
Nice.
and then yeah, the rest is history. Off to CGC.
Now, when I was talking before about cleaning, I know there are people out there with like the the miracle eraser trying to clean up the white, and they're scrubbing their books. I don't subscribe to that. I don't. Uh, I won't do that. I'm not going to actually try to change the weathering on a book. However, I have gotten books and checked the grader's notes and gotten dinged for fingerprints.
Yeah,
So I will take a soft cloth and wipe to make sure I don't leave fingerprints on the books.
yeah. I actually,
So that when I say cleaning, that's what I refer to.
I am paranoid enough that I have a full box of latex gloves that I use when I'm pressing and wiping it down with this microfiber cloth. But then I have this very fine tipped eraser that I
Hmm.
use, like mostly on white things, just because
Yeah,
I feel like it's free points sometimes. So I work on them that way.
I think I did one book that way, and it didn't sit right with me.
That's fair. Yeah.
But um, I try not to judge anybody. I don't want to be judged, and I don't want to judge anybody else. So if somebody else wants to clean a book and submit it, and they get a higher grade, God love you, fantastic. I'm happy for you. It's like me being a vegan. If somebody came to my house for a barbecue, I would go to the store and buy real beef hamburgers and sell and give them beef hamburgers. I would ask them, "Would you like to try a veggie
Yeah.
burger?" But I'm not going to try to shove what I like down somebody else's
Yeah.
throat. So I will treat my books the way I treat my books, and you treat your books the way you treat your books, and we're both happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Anthony
uh,
asked a question here.
did you see the new Spider-Man suit, Chasm?
Yeah. So Chasm, um, I would pre-order Spider-Man 93, the Gleason cover, because that's the first cover appearance of Chasm.
You don't think that Gleason covers are getting a little bit oversaturated?
Oh, I don't really like them. I just think it's I think it's going to be popular just because it's a new. I don't know if you can see my phone here, but
Yeah.
that's the new Chasm cover.
Okay, I'm leaving you on your own for a second.
Okay, yeah, I mean I'm getting it. Ben Parker, yeah. I wish they would stop starting over with one again. They're doing the same thing with Daredevil, and they're keeping the same writer, Zdarsky. I don't know why they're doing that, other than a cash grab to say, "Oh, here's another number one." But maybe I'm being cynical. Oh, how'd you get that? Is it out already?
Yeah, last week
Oh, see,
or the week it just passed.
yeah, that's the one.
Make sure. There we
That's the
go.
one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see. I
Yeah.
pre-order my comics on eBay because I don't really have a comic
Mhm.
store, so they come in bunches, and I haven't gotten it yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I think I'm getting a little saturated with Gleason to the point almost like Momoko. Like, okay, no more,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, definitely.
But I saw this one on the shelf, and I went, okay, now that one looks cool. So I
Yeah, it kind of pops, right?
picked this one up. Yeah, it does. And you know what I wished when I saw this was I wished it was a glow in the dark like the Ghost Rider ones,
Ooh.
because I thought it would look really cool glowing in the dark up on the wall
Could you imagine
next to
that?
the Ghost
Oh,
Rider.
dude, that would be sick. Maybe the second print.
Well, if there's money to be made and enough people are going to buy it, they'll make it.
That's true. They said Anthony said his full outfit looks sick on the last page, so I got to check that out.
Yeah, well, I'll do it later
Yeah.
because it's rude to do it now. No.
Guys, just hold on. I'm gonna read the book here.
Yeah, right. 1983 Thundercats #1.
Hey, I mean, ho.
That one came back a 7.5. That's another one of the ones for the wife. You know what's funny is before the whole Thundercats thing took off, I got, remember those polybag 3 for $1.99 books that you used to buy in gas stations to keep your kids quiet on the long ride drives?
I've heard of such things. Yes.
Thundercats 1, 2, and 3 still in the polybag. I picked that up for her. She decided not to open it, thank God. I think I paid $45 for it now, and the last one I saw still went for $600.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, you don't want to sell this? No! But the Project Tank, it's only going to go down.
Yeah. I think you got a new question there in the chat.
Is this the same Ohana that does the cons in California? No, it isn't. That's actually called Ohana Comic Convention. I did look to make sure that nobody in the world had Ohana Comics as a name, and that was the closest that I found. I was surprised that, being as that is such a big convention in California, that nobody opened a store called Ohana Comics. And several people have asked me if I'm in Hawaii. I'm not.
I kind of thought that when I first reached out to you.
Well, and the reason is because I'm a tremendous Stitch fan, as you can see behind me here and over here. Thank you, Brittany. Actually, they're both from Brittany. And I even have a Stitch tattoo.
And all your
so
Funkos.
Ohana means family, and I'm trying to build a comic family. That's what it is. Sorry, Greg and I are trying to build a comic family. Well, you're my family now too.
Well, and you got loads of Funkos too of Stitch, right?
Well, yeah, I have a lot upstairs. I got a lot of Funkos all over the place. At some point, I'm gonna take all this down and just put Funkos behind me and see if everybody goes nuts. Like, did I tune into the wrong channel?
Right.
And yeah, C-List. I'm sorry if you thought that I was that convention. It's just that's the whole reason for the name. And I have tried to secure the domain name for Ohana Comics as well. I just haven't built it. I have an actual licensed logo now, so I don't have to worry about having Disney banging on the door. Yeah, I even have a little Scrump doll, so I'm just Stitch happy. What can I tell you? I got Stitch. They're not called pajamas for full-grown men. They're called comfort pants.
Oh.
But I bought a pair of Stitch comfort pants to sleep in when I went to Canada.
Very nice.
I love those stupid things. Oh, jeez.
Thank you, E-Man. Appreciate the kind words.
Hashtag grow together. I love that. Yes. Yeah, another one of my wife's favorite cartoons from the 80s. There was no way I was spending the money for a 9.8, but I did pick her up a 9.6 of Fraggle Rock.
Oh, man. I didn't even know there was a Fraggle Rock book.
I didn't either until I looked for it, and then unfortunately I found it.
So, check this one out.
Sure, shoot.
Willy's Wonder World.
I'm going to full size here.
The fun begins this winter, and it's like a movie poster, but behind it has got like a I don't know, some demon tearing it away or something.
American Mythology Productions.
Yeah,
I've never heard of
I haven't
this.
either, and I've never read it. I just thought the cover was crazy, so I bought it.
And where did you find this?
eBay. Willy Weasel, Willy's Wonderland.
You know, what's funny is if that, let's just say that something like that gets optioned, and it turns out that there's only 2,000 copies, you never know.
I ain't gonna be on Ohana, that's for sure. No, I'm kidding. Just
Hey,
kidding. Um, yeah, I should probably read it.
boy, I did pick up a bad box, didn't I? Yeesh.
You want me to go again real quick?
I'm
You want me
sorry.
to go again real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So I originally sent this in to get signed by George Perez from CGC.
You just maybe stopped looking at books when you said George Perez.
They got, but unfortunately they canceled the signing. But I still was able to get the header, and at least $5 went to his family. You know, but this is the first appearance of Taskmaster.
Now, I thought that they postponed all the signings. I didn't know they canceled them.
Yeah, canceled him.
Okay.
But you know, the priority is him and him feeling better. I'm not gonna complain too much about that.
Well, I don't want to be morbid, but do you think that it's worthwhile to buy Signature Series George Perez's off
Yes.
of eBay?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Again, don't mean to be.
yeah,
Not trying to be morbid.
It is
but,
morbid, but it's an investment too. Like same thing with Stan Lee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have a Stanley book and send it in, and sorry, what?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to go there.
Since they have a TV show of MODOK that's not very good, could we see him in the future in the MCU? Yes, but I don't expect him to be a major character. And I'm speaking for somebody that owns a first appearance of MODOK, and I wish there was going to be a major character, but I don't see him being a major character. It's a Captain America foe. To see a giant head floating around in a wheelchair,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he.
I don't think that translates to 2022 very well.
Yeah, I just don't see where he could fit in.
Yeah, I mean, the way that they did it Robot Chicken style, I think was as much as you're going to see him in the MCU. There may be a cameo or a little blurb in the background or something. If anything, there might be like a news broadcast going on one of the MCU things, and they'll be in the teleticker below. MODOK does such and such, at which point everybody will freak out and the book will spike. But I don't see him as a character being in the live action MCU. And I wish it was, because like I said, I own the first appearance. So
Yeah, I don't know. I initially want to say it sounds too silly, but so is a giant green man jumping across buildings. Like that's silly too. So I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it in my gut.
what do you think about the next Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, or with Garfield? Do you think they're going to do another one of those? Or
I keep hearing like rumors about that, right? But I don't know. I don't want to like to do Garfield dirty.
I'd love to see one more movie with Maguire where he doesn't dance. I mean, yeah, Tobey Maguire. I just don't want to see him dance, and I would love to find out that the serum did not cure Osborn, that he was faking it at the end, and we got one more movie between Green Goblin and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
I would be surprised, but boy, oh boy, what a story that would be. Moon Knight sticking around after the current TV series.
I heard Oscar Isaac doesn't have a contract past the show's end.
Huh.
Absolutely, Moon Knight sticks around. He is definitely turning out to be too popular a character. And can I point out that Vincent D'Onofrio does not have a contract yet with MCU to play Kingpin, and we know he's got to come back. There's just no way that major a character does not come back somehow. Could they have somebody else besides Oscar Isaac play it? Yes. I mean, it's not like Chadwick Boseman, where everybody loves him so much that they couldn't possibly replace him. I don't know how we'll feel after 6 episodes, but Moon Knight is one of the supernatural superheroes that forms Sons, not Sons
Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns. I know I keep saying Sons of the Desert, background group for country music. The Midnight Suns, and that is a priority, I think, for Ghost Rider.
Yep.
I mean, they're bringing in so many Midnight Suns.
I was going to say,
I don't see them eliminating.
I was going to say, I think they're pretty intent on bringing up this like supernatural side of things, coming with the Midnight Suns and stuff like that.
Right. They just got to be very careful when they're doing the supernatural to make sure it's not too religious. The second biggest market for them is China, and China will not allow movies that depict religious people. That's why they haven't brought Mephisto.
Yeah, yeah.
If Mephisto was in anything, it would be banned in China, and they would lose their second biggest audience. And right now, with nobody going to the movies in the United States, they need all the money they can get. So
it's true.
If they can get Mephisto in or Ghost Rider in somehow without making him a religious character, where they can still capitalize on the Chinese market, then yes, you'll see those characters, and I still see Moon Knight sticking around.
Yeah, I don't. I think most characters come into the MCU with the intent of milking at least a series and a movie out of them, and that's not a bad thing. Maybe it's a gateway to Ghost Spider, 3 Spider-Man in 1 movie. Maybe the next has 4 Spider-Verse. Oh,
I'd love to see even more than that. I'd love to see a movie that alternated between animated and live action.
That's an interesting thought. Wow. As if it could be just considered another multiverse universe where everything's a cartoon.
I mean, how would Tom Holland interact with a live action Spider Ham?
Right. I don't know. I have no idea. Do you have a soft spot for a certain type of cover that you're always picking them up? Like something is happening on the cover and you're like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything sexy with She-Hulk.
You know what? I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, or professionally look. I mean, if it's stupid She-Hulk, I don't bother. But there are certain She-Hulk covers I look at them like, wow, that's.
She took her vitamins.
Marry me.
Well, I don't know. I kind of have a thing for like Iron Man-esque, like flying through the air covers.
Okay.
Like this Rogue Sun here.
I was gonna say with the arms back.
Yeah, like I love that.
And not this way, but the.
Yeah, I love that. I have that, and you know it's not the same, but it's similar. Like it's a pulled back shot here of Silver Surfer Rebirth.
Right.
And
there could be also underwater things could be in the same pose though.
That's
they?
True. Yeah. And it's not like they're not always. I think it's just a flying thing because I really like this Darkhawk where he's like up in the sky.
Yep.
And then this is the last one, I promise. This
this
is the first Radiant Black where he is raising his arms, but I don't know. I really like the artwork of it.
Well, I mean, you've got multiple poses that are kind of iconic, and I mean, I'll vogue and strike a pose right now, and you tell me which character comes to mind.
Superman.
There you go. I mean, one fist is always Superman.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can almost. I do this. You can almost hear da 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 da
Right.
da. That's it. I just got copyright struck. I'm sure.
Well, and then everybody does like the landing, right? The landing pose when you're down on the ground.
You saw Black Widow, right?
Once. Yes.
You're such a
Oh yeah,
poser.
yeah, yeah,
You always stand like this, and then you flip your head back.
yeah. It's so unnecessary.
I did not like Black Widow. I loved Yelena, and I loved her in Hawkeye.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was worth a watch. I didn't like how they handled Taskmaster, but
Oh, Black Widow, yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah, that was just dumb.
It's weird.
I can't believe. I mean, what also really bothered me is Black Widow is supposedly the bad guy that Shield has sent Hawkeye to go kill, but to clear Black Widow, Shield will say, "Let's demolish the entire building to get one person
Uh,
and kill all the innocent workers and janitors and everything else."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that'll clear your name because you just tell us when to blow up the entire building because we have a guy with a bow and arrow that never misses.
Nope.
We couldn't possibly hit him from the door to the car.
Yeah. Convenient.
Do you ever watch How It Should Have Ended?
No.
Um, yeah, it's a full series, animated on YouTube. You have got it goes back, I think, almost 10 years worth of movies that they've been making this channel. HISHE. You have got to watch some of their stuff. It's hilarious.
They just retcon stuff the way it should have happened.
Well, that plus they'll also, like, oh, why don't we just do this? Well, yeah, I could do that, but I'm not going to. Well, couldn't we just, instead of make the spell to everybody forget Peter, couldn't we just make the spell for everybody to forget Mysterio and everything he said? Well, yeah.
That's funny. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, somebody mentioned it to me a couple of years ago, and I think I've gone back and watched every video of a movie that I've actually seen. It's live action movie, like not just Marvel Comics. It's any movie they'll tackle and like break down. Like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why didn't they do this instead?
The one that I heard a lot of people talk about was like in Lord of the Rings. Why don't they just take the giant eagles directly to the volcano and just throw the ring down?
A long time ago, if you went to Google Maps and typed in destination Mordor, it actually came back with the one does not simply travel to Mordor. Like somebody in Google Maps put that in as a response.
That's funny. I'm more of an indie guy. What series written by popular indie writers should I look into that's on the big two?
The big two?
DC
Oh, you mean Marvel DC?
DC Marvel, yeah.
Did you read Nice House on the Lake?
Well, let's see. What series written by popular indie writers should I look into that's on the big two? I guess is Tinian a popular indie writer? He's on Image a lot.
Yeah.
If you're into Tinian, yeah, do Nice House on the Lake. That's really popular and gotten good reviews. Scary story. He also had a pretty big Batman run that just ended.
Yep.
That was a good run. Has he done anything for Marvel? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing Tinian anywhere on Marvel. What about Lemire?
Yes, Lemire did off the top of my head, he did a 3-part series called Robin and Batman.
Right.
That was really good exploration into the very beginnings of Batman and Dick Grayson, the first Robin, like learning the ropes and getting into trouble and not doing well first few times, and getting into their groove.
I think DC is more apt to bring in the independent writers than Marvel, because I think Marvel's still stinging from McFarlane and all the others leaving to create Image.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I think that they're kind of like, well, screw you guys.
Yeah.
But I think DC still, I think they want their publication to continue doing well. But B, if it's a good writer, we're not going to hold where you work against you. Come on in and work with us.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. Oh, who else did? What are some other names?
This is a tough question.
It is. It's a good question though.
I love Gideon Falls, and I'm reading Little Monsters. I love if Jeff Lemire.
Oh yeah. He did the Moon Knight run.
I want to read this Moon Knight
Yeah,
run.
that's a run he did.
Yeah, whatever happened to season 2 of what's the Sweet Tooth? They never came out with season
It's
2.
still it's still on. It's still on for production. But I don't know what the schedule is.
I Season 1 was a little on the corny side, but I liked it.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no, it was predictable. It was a little corny, but it was still fun to
Yeah.
watch, and it yeah, it wasn't a mature story. It was just a fun little eat some popcorn and watch a show story. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't consider it wasted time, which I consider a lot of things wasted time. The Thanos run by Donny Cates is another one I want to read too. I agree, but Donny Cates is so everywhere. I don't consider him an independent writer anymore.
That's true. He's kind of
I
the
could,
hotness right now with Marvel.
yeah,
I will say I don't know. Scott Snyder, he's doing Noctera right now, and that's
yep,
a pretty big book on Image. He did a lot of the New 52 Batman run that started in 2011 and incorporated the Court of Owls, which is like what people are thinking is going to be the next big Batman 2 is going to circle around.
yep.
So that was a highly regarded run as well if you want to read Batman by Scott Snyder.
Do you think that getting that was it New 52 Batman number 5, or it's one of the first couple ones with the first appearance of the Court of Owls?
Yeah, I was.
Uh,
Which one was that? I think you're right.
I mean, I think that it's a good book to wait for a couple of months until it really dies down a little bit. But that's when I want to put. I have on my radar to keep an eye out for a good price.
Yeah, I think it's running like close to 40 or 50 or something right now.
But I think in the time between, I'm going to say probably 2 months after the DVD is released and it starts to calm down a little bit, well, because they haven't written a story yet for Batman 2. They don't even have a storyboard yet for Batman 2.
Okay.
So I'm not going to sink $50 into a Raw and turned out, oh, nope, they decided to go with Joker.
Oh, please no. I like Joker, but please. It's number 6, and it's the first full appearance of the Court of Owls, and the current. Okay, so it's gone up. It's about $60 now.
That's the first full appearance, but isn't the first mention like number 2 or 3?
Yes, that's the first full
Okay.
appearance. The first cameo appearance is issue 4, and that's running you about $14. And then the very first appearance via a picture and a painting is number 3, and that's running $17 fair market value. So
Okay.
the market is treating, what was it, 6 as the big reveal, I guess.
Well, it's kind of like what do you call it? Kanan number 6 as opposed to Kanan number 1. First cameo appearance of Ezra and Sabine Wren as opposed to the first full appearance.
These are
It's the Hulk 180, 181 argument all over.
These are the biggest debates that I come across.
Well, I mean, I think that the first appearance of Wolverine is Hulk 180. It's not a. I do because he speaks and he's in multiple panels. That's the only reason. If it's a one panel splash, then it's a cameo. But if he actually speaks and he's in more than one panel, I have to give it an appearance.
Yeah, the other big one for especially X-Men is Gambit, right?
Yeah,
because he was in
X-Men Annual number 14 as opposed to
266.
266, right?
Yeah, because he
I mean,
speaks. He's shown in full color, and I think he's in a few panels. Like, I don't know, man.
But the bottom line is it's whatever the market dictates.
Exactly. Yeah.
what do you call it? Invincible Iron Man #7, Invincible Iron Man #9 for Riri Williams. Uh, okay, so is that a cameo? Is that a first appearance? I mean, she appears on the cover for crying out loud. So, I've got a Kanan #1 and I've got a Kanan #6.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I bought both of them in the Raw, and the comic gods were with me that day because I got one of them back as a 9.8 and it was #6.
Yeah.
But if the market flipped and said #1 was actually the first appearance, and that's the whole thing, you have to change the mentality of all the collectors.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know how that happens, but
Yeah, so all the people that argue Hulk 180, 181, you're never going to change the mind, the overall mind of millions of collectors. If you do, then that's falling into Department of Truth.
that's some power. Yeah.
You ever read Department of Truth?
No, but I have the #1 in 9.8.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is definitely something that should be made into a TV series.
I'm pretty sure it's optioned. I can confirm here in a second.
Well, options means that a TV studio has bought the rights to
Fair.
it. It does not mean they're going to develop it.
Fair.
They could be doing that just to make sure nobody else develops
That's
it.
fair. Yeah.
But the storyline is there is a department of the government called the Department of Truth. And let's just say let's just talk about flat Earth, okay? 3% of the population believes that the Earth is flat and 97% believe it's round. Well, if enough information, misinformation, YouTube videos, conventions, whatever, change the mind of people, as soon as it becomes 50.0001, as soon as the majority of people believe that the Earth is flat, reality changes and the Earth becomes flat.
So it's like a giant Mandela effect.
Yes. So you've got this department of the government which is trying to control the reality, I guess you will, by manipulating people's perceptions and truths.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've got the cover A and the Oswald cover also.
Speaking of Tinian, yeah, we got #1 here, first print,
cool.
#1, and then Nice House on the Lake, #1.
That I don't have. Yeah. That's such a dark cover too. That's a great book to have at a 9.8.
This is affordable. It's a great time if you want to just buy it already slabbed. It's under $100. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it was
I'm running out of paper of things to buy. Come on,
maybe
guys.
It was a high. Maybe it was a high print run, but
it was. But I think isn't there a 1 in 25 or?
Oh, that's one.
There's a 1 in 25 of everything. These days. What am I
that
saying?
one had like 15 covers.
I'm out of ice, so I'll be drinking my next glass at room temperature.
God bless. Yeah, I mean, I'm on eBay right now, and there's one for $67, $5 shipping.
That's a buy it now?
Yeah. Go ahead and, ladies and gentlemen, you are currently witnessing Rich in his primitive habitat. He is going to purchase a nice house on the lake immediately on... Oh, we've startled him. Step back, step back.
You know what's funny is I buy a lot of stuff for my job because I have a company credit card. I just have to make damn sure that I switch the billing when I buy a comic book. Otherwise, my boss will have me in the office like, Rich, what is something is killing the children?
Are you killing children, Richard?
No, that's a new tool. That's just a nickname that we call it. It's a new tool we need for Plus 12.
Yeah. I mean...
I'm like, I can't remember what was the name of the book I was looking up. Yeah, that's a second print now.
I mean, I could just... do you want me to just put it in the chat? So everybody can get it?
No, because one of them might buy it.
There's 2 available. 1 was sold.
Seriously. Third Eye variant? No, I don't want a variant. Second print. Whoa. Second print signed No bids, $25.25. CGC yellow label.
How much time's left though?
3 days.
Oh,
$15 shipping.
yeah,
Guys, when you're buying stuff on eBay, always factor in the shipping
yeah.
cost. I mean, I've seen books that have sold for a really low price, and then you look at it like, oh, it's $25 shipping. It really wasn't that big a bargain, was it?
I try to stay around 15 shipping if it's a slab. Not go any higher than that.
No, and I get that because you want to make sure that they don't, you don't pay $5.99 for shipping, and then they give you $5 worth of shipping, and it cracks along the way.
That's true. Yeah.
But if it says free shipping, then I get it. Third Eye Tiny Onion limited to 500.
Tiny Onion's his like fan club. It's a play on his last name, I guess.
Tinian.
Yeah,
I get it.
Tiny Onion. Yeah.
See, I'm paying attention.
How about this? I'm gonna drop it in your Skype.
I'm looking at a $54.95, $15 shipping. Those are third printings.
I know this is a riveting live.
And you're just trying to get me back on track. I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll show some of my stuff. This is a really cool comic called Cinnamon, and it's one of 3, and it's about life from the point of view of a cat, and he thinks he's a badass, and everything he does is like super accentuated, but it's really just like his owner coming home and feeding him food. But it's still from like, it's really cool. Highly recommended. Behemoth Comics. One of my current favorite cover artists, is Bjorn Barons. He does a lot of the Spawn stuff, but I bought his Hulk #1 because I just thought it was this really sick looking. And I'm actually going to send him in to get him signed. He's doing a signing event. If I can find them. I mean, Lord have mercy, I got a lot of comics here.
It was funny. I stopped looking for the book because I was looking at yours. I scrolled right past it because I was looking at your book. I'm like, that's a cool cover.
So these, I mean, obviously it's a 181 homage, but I just can't get over how cool the his style is. It's very like kind of realistic.
I love how that looks like it's almost in a fog.
Yeah, that's kind of how his style is, and you can kind of hear and feel the earth kind of like breaking up from his footstep here. It came in a Virgin and trade, so that's cool. Death of Doctor Strange, 9.8 DJ Ski cover, very rare as far as I know. Got this from New York Comic Con. It's an eBay variant, oddly enough.
Do you know the print run on that?
I don't. How do you check? Do you have a way that you normally check that? I mean,
I would actually look on eBay and see where, 'cause sometimes you'll find somebody that's selling the same book and they'll say limited to. They've done the homework for you.
True. I can.
It doesn't mean that they're 100% accurate. I'd like to stress that.
I'm actually kind of curious in the CGC census how many there are.
C-List, thanks for joining us. He said, I got a cut. Great chatting with you, new friends. Hashtag stay villainous.
Sorry.
Do we see Batman White Knight, Batman Beyond being a hit, even though there was an error in the print run? I asked this at Syndicate, and I've asked other people, and I haven't gotten an answer. People say it was a low print run. Low print run for comics or a low print run for DC? Because if they were planning on printing 100,000 and only 80,000 came out, that's a little different than a comic book like from Boom Studios that their print run got knocked down to 5,000. So I don't know what a low print run means.
I have an answer for
Go.
the CGC census. There are only 8 of these in existence, and your boy has one.
Nice.
So maybe not too many exist out there.
Well, I mean, somewhere in my collection, and I don't know exactly where, but I have the regular issue here. Remember the Death Knights Death Metal #7?
Oh, it was a little before I started, but I'm aware of it. Yeah.
I did get the, what is it, 1 in 50 black and white version,
Oh.
and I sent that in, and I got a 9.8. And when I first got that, I think there were 7, and I'm like, wow, there's only 7 in the world.
Yeah.
But now I think they're up to 23. And I still feel good about owning a 1 in 23 book.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you look at some other comics, they're over 1,000. So like, that's pretty cool.
Deadpool, Spider-Man 300.
Yeah. Oh, Spider-Man 300. I think there's 3,000 plus.
That's so ridiculously overpriced, man. I'm sorry. I would love to have one, but I am not paying that kind of price for a book that had that high a print run.
Yeah. Yeah.
They printed so many of those. I remember when that book came out, man, we were using that as spare toilet paper. There were just so many of them.
Damn.
Yeah, and nothing wipes your butt like Venom. Let me tell you.
Somebody take that audio, just out of context. Nothing wipes your butt like Venom.
New black toilet paper. Anthony Wheeler says, I'm ready for a Swamp Thing to take off, hopefully. Hope it would make a great show, not movie.
There was a show, and it was really well received, but they canceled it.
What channel?
Well, that might be why.
Was it CW?
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably why, and it's because CW has such a bad reputation for making shows that people probably didn't tune in. Yeah, I would agree to that. Didn't Swamp Thing have a couple of really crazy movies with Adrienne Barbeau?
Oh, I don't know.
Back in like 1981 or something like that. They had a couple of movies, Swamp Thing 1, Swamp Thing 2. Back when Adrienne Barbeau was actually hot, like 40 years ago. I'm older than you, man. Don't say CW. Where great titles go to die. Look, did you ever see the movie The New Mutants?
No.
I saw that first day, first show. Me and 6 other people. Yeah. Because it was A, COVID, and B, because nobody wanted to see this movie that had been filmed and completed 7 years earlier, and nobody wanted to release it.
Oh, no.
But it was Marvel, and I wanted to. And one newspaper reviewer or, Hollywood movie reviewer said it plays like a movie that was made for the CW. I'm like, wow, that is such an insult on multiple levels.
Yeah, it's a diss. That is a diss.
It's dissing the CW and the movie itself. And I read that before I watched it. And at the end of it, I said, I honestly cannot agree more. It was just bland. It was not cohesive. It was a made-for-TV movie is what it was.
Was that the one with Oscar Isaacs as well?
In the New Mutants?
I don't know. Didn't he play somebody in the MCU or in the X-Men universe prior? Or am I...
Not ringing a bell. I'm not saying no, but it's not ringing a bell. I mean, I know he played Poe Dameron in Star Wars.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Wait, did he play Apocalypse?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I had to think about that. Like it's and like something in my head is saying yes, he did.
I never saw that one.
Good.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. That one really was bad. If anything, the only reason I think that the Apocalypse movie is worth watching is the Magneto storyline. Him in Oh man, it's heart wrenching.
Oh wow.
It really is. I love the Magneto storyline in that, which is a small part of the movie, but it's worth watching just for that.
Okay.
Anything else? Sorry.
Uh,
They ruined all great characters. Key and Point, Green Arrow.
oh
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the show initially, but it kind of just. I forget who I was talking to, but they were like, CW is basically like. There's always like early 20s drama is like the like demographic they're going for, you know. Uh,
but it's not well written though. That's the whole thing. I don't think it's well written.
I don't think it has to be. I think it just has to check off certain boxes, and then people eat that shit up. Excuse me. Oops.
Do we got a hot babe in this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do we start with a problem and we finish the problem at the end? Yeah.
Love triangle.
Uh, yeah. Oh wait, are we talking about Supernatural? No, sorry, never mind. I tried watching Supernatural the first 2 seasons. I'm like, every single episode is the same. They go to a new town, they meet a hot babe, they fight some supernatural person, they beat them, they say the hot babe, I can't stay, and then they leave. I heard it gets better seasons later. I'm like, but how did it keep getting renewed?
Must have had the numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm encouraged by HBO now being a big player for DC stuff, because Peacemaker was fantastic. That was a great show.
No, that wasn't Amazon.
No, that's HBO.
Okay. There are two things that I am dying to see. One is Peacemaker.
Yeah.
I don't have HBO Max. And two, I have yet to see Shazam, and I've seen little clips of it. It looks so much fun.
The Shazam movie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. That's another really good one, because that is so in the vein of Marvel, I would say. Like, they did a really good job, and yeah, I would see if you can watch that. That's very good.
Yeah, I mean, well, Peacemaker, Shazam, these are DC characters, and they're showing that they're knocking on the door. They know what to do. They just got to get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn did was really quite good too. I don't know if you saw that.
The first one?
No. Well,
I didn't see the second. The first one had its merits. I thought the villain sucked, but
was it the one with Will Smith in it? Not that.
Yeah.
That one is not what I consider to be the good one.
no. I didn't think it was
Well,
good.
yeah.
I just thought it had its merits. Jared Leto was a low point. I liked Will Smith in that. It was good he didn't smack anybody. Ouch. And Margot Robbie, yeah, you got me there.
Did you see the other one though?
The second one, no, I haven't seen it.
That's really good in my opinion. And Peacemaker.
I have Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix. That's it. Mm-hmm. So I got to get to the store and buy the DVDs. So
The Peacemaker picks up after the end of that movie, just to give you context.
right. Oh, I saw it. Everybody at the comic store is talking about it. And isn't that Amazon?
Peacemaker?
That's HBO?
HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the one that was on Amazon Prime?
The Boys. That was good. That's
The other way, yeah.
there you go. Oh, it's a creepy MFer, dude. Homelander is so creepy. Oh.
You got it. There we go.
Boy, oh boy.
Dear Becky.
Have you seen? You have Prime, you said?
Nope.
Oh. So you haven't.
And you know what's funny is I should have it because I'm constantly ordering stuff at work, and it automatically defaults me to the purchasing manager's Amazon Prime account. So if I just copy that link, I could probably watch it at home.
Yeah. Oh man, the boys is good. That's a good show.
I mean I've seen the trailers on that. I'm much more interested in seeing Peacemaker because that looks so over the top funny that I would love to watch it. That really looks like a bucket of popcorn sitting back laughing my ass
You
off.
you will. Absolutely you will. Maybe I can help you watch it somehow offline.
So we got HBO Max should have just moved it over there because Swamp Thing was very good. They could have went more mature with it, but they're trying to save Batwoman.
Yeah.
They're trying to replicate everything like it's Smallville.
That's right, Anthony. Yeah, like Smallville was huge in regards to like how popular it was.
Yeah.
But it's not something you and I and probably Anthony and the other people in this chat would have really enjoyed.
Well, one thing about Smallville, I don't think that. I mean, I know that they were hoping it was going to be a hit, but I don't think they expected it to be so well received by the fans as it was. But I think what happened as a result was they were expecting every other show that came afterwards to be just as well received without as much effort being put into it.
Well, and following that formula too, which is why they're all like a love triangle, drama, and I don't know, just not fun for us.
Right.
Um,
But getting back to the Swamp Thing, though, yeah, I would love to see a series on that. And Swamp Thing definitely came out before Man Thing, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I need my fact checker
There, I
on
got
that.
you.
I hear the keyboard going.
Clickety clack.
But yeah, I think Man Thing, I think you're going to actually see in the MCU.
Yeah, I think he's going to be part of this like mystical stuff that's sort of emerging.
Yep.
Okay. So, Man Thing being introduced in May 1971, Swamp Thing would make his introduction 1 month later in July 1971. Wow. Again, with like the short, like this one's really short, not just 2 years.
Now,
boy, oh boy.
but you got to remember that the development of the characters doesn't happen 1 week before publication.
Right. There's no way they can swing that.
Like Captain America number 100, it actually says April 1968, but it actually was not released in April of 1968. It was actually released in like January of 1968, and it had the date of April. You get comic books, I remember getting comic books in the 80s, and it said March, and I'm sitting here, and it's January.
Yeah.
So it took a couple of months for them to actually get these books out. So unless there was a spy, you got to get a monster that looks like a guy in camouflage. Yep. Yeah, they're calling it Man Thing. Swamp Thing? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
It's got vines and crap hanging off it. Whatever. Just do something similar.
Yes. I'll send you over some of the concept art. Perfect. Turn off my Dick Tracy two-way communicator.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that they did that. It's actually very probable. What are the chances that two different companies came up with a giant moss monster within a month of each other? But, geez, that's funny. So Marvel actually beat DC to the punch on that. So.
Yeah.
It might have been that they heard that DC was developing this character and forced one out real quick before DC to make it look like they were first.
I don't see that being out of the realm of possibility either.
I mean, that's how Spider-Woman and She-Hulk came out. Let's quickly get something to market before somebody gets a trademark on these names.
Oh, wow. Wow. That would be cool. Swamp Thing is a powerful motherfucker.
Well, I mean, you had $6 Million Man, which was also a comic book at the time. And then the TV series show, was that NBC that made that at that time back then? Nobody should be able to answer this. Only I'm this old. They came out with the Bionic Woman, Lindsay Wagner. But since there was no comic book for that, they owed no rights back. They could own that themselves. TV studios at the time had a Spider-Man cartoon and Spider-Man live action, I believe, but also the Bill Bixby Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno way back in the day. To make sure that they didn't duplicate that, Marvel quickly published Spider-Woman and She-Hulk, locking in the female versions of those characters so they could be made into TV series without them making the money.
Wow.
And these are two characters that are still popular today. And we're getting one as a show, and the other one we're hoping we'll get soon.
Wow. Interesting. Anthony, I don't think so. I think Damian Wayne is here for a while. He's got a pretty good run going right now in DC that I've actually been reading, and he's well beloved by the fans. So I'd be surprised if DC did anything with Damian Wayne as the current Robin right now.
That's the same one that was in the animated movie Batman versus Robin?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was raised by the assassins, the Ra's al Ghul's assassins people, and Batman has had to slowly assassinize.
Unbrainwash
yeah.
them. Justice, not vengeance.
Yeah.
See, I know a little bit about DC. I mean, I rely on you a lot, but I'm trying to stand on my own 2 feet.
You're doing great. Yeah.
But honestly, out of all the iterations of Robin, other than Nightwing, I like the Damian Wayne version the best.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, they all have their advantages and disadvantages. The middle one, Tim Drake, he was referenced as like nice.
Yeah, I don't want you to think that I only have Marvel Comics.
Oh, man, that's nice. That's awesome. That's when Jason Todd.
Yep.
He realizes Jason Todd didn't die.
It's a good box today. Good
not
box.
bad. Yeah, Jason Todd becomes Red Hood. Spoiler alert from the 89 or something. And then Tim Drake was supposed to be like the best rivaling detective skills of Batman, so he was more of a detective type of Robin. Damian is the physical karate and Dick Grayson is the OG acrobat,
Yeah.
So I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah, the Batman versus Robin when Nightwing was babysitting him and he threw the hood over him and just punched him in the face. It's like, shut up, little kid.
It's funny. Like as time goes on, they kind of develop like a brother, almost like a big brother, little brother relationship. So it's
now I'm the oldest sibling, and I will tell you that when I was 17, my sister was 12.
Okay, so 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years older, male, female. Flash forward 20 years, I'm dating a girl. My sister comes to visit from Oregon, and she's sitting at the table telling my girlfriend. Now, my sister stands 5'0". She's a short girl. She's telling my girlfriend of all the times when she was 12 and I was 17 that I would pin her to the ground and punch her in the face.
Oh.
And my girlfriend's like, what's wrong with you? How could you beat up on this little girl? I'm like, no, what she's not telling you is that she won half the fights. Of all the people that I've fought in my life, she's the only one I'm afraid of. And my girlfriend is like, no. See, there's something wrong with you. If you could hit this little girl. Now, I thought I was safe with you. Now I have to worry. 5 minutes later, I said something wise ass to my sister. She didn't even get out of the chair. She turns, boom. I mean, she punches like a man. Okay, she's throwing her weight into it. Hits me in the arm, knocks me in the chair over on the floor. I'm holding my arm, going, sweet little girl, my ass. Oh my God. Everybody looks at my sister, who little 5 foot girl. She cracks her knuckles. Like she's got this devilish smile. Like, yeah, I still got it. I'm like, the defense rests. Ow.
I'm just gonna rest here on the ground.
Yeah.
Defenseless.
So yeah, do I consider myself to be a woman beater? No.
Oh well, that's very good.
I've gotten my ass kicked by my sister a number of times. So when you say Big Brother, I'm like, Big Brother don't mean shit.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Teen Titans Robin is still one of my favorites, and I don't know why. Hey, man.
Yeah,
Sometimes you like stuff.
that's a, I no, I agree, and I think that a lot of people will say the same thing, that Teen Titans Robin, for some reason, unexplainable reason, has an allure that everybody likes that particular character. He's got a little bit of cockiness, a little bit of over arrogance, a lot of ability. Um, it's very relatable to a lot of
Going
us.
back to
So,
their
yeah,
argument from earlier this evening when we were talking about relatable versus, you know, maybe that's
yeah,
part of it.
yeah. I
And I
agree.
think people also just like they like Robin, and at least for me, when he's like leading the Teen Titans, you're like, oh yeah, guy's got his shot today. You know, he's the leader now, out from under the wings of Batman. You know, so
Yeah, I mean it's almost like coming out from underneath, trying to show your dad that you're
yeah,
worthy of something, like taking over the
yeah.
business or starting your own business and showing your dad, see, you trained me well, but you don't need to guide me anymore. I can actually do
Yeah.
it. Um, yeah, well, this is striking some of the things that happened to me today. I don't want to get too in depth about it, but males have that. I need to strike out on my own and prove to my father that I'm just as good, if not better, that I can do that. While females have that, um, I always want my mother's approval type of
Hmm.
thing. So, and if the person that I'm thinking about is watching this video, I'll give you another hug when I see you later. But um, so the majority of comic book readers are male. There are a lot of female readers, and I'm glad that there
Yeah.
are. But as readers, we look at this like, yeah, I remember when I stood up to my dad and showed him that I was worthy of him being proud of
Yeah.
me, that I could do everything that he wanted me to do. And um, I think that's the part that Nightwing really strikes home with a lot of
Yeah,
us
for sure.
as readers.
Yeah.
I'm not a
I
philosophy
was gonna say
major,
this is
but
getting
I did
deep.
stay at a Hampton Inn Express.
We got deep. Oh man. The show Titans, also on HBO, so I know you haven't watched it, but
No, gotta get it.
I've
I guess
I've
there's too many things I
I
have to
really like
watch.
that show. And Doom Patrol is really crazy and self-aware and really good. So, anyway.
Do you know? Like, I mean, I grew up in New York, and in New York, you were either a Yankees fan or a Mets fan. If you were a Mets fan, you hated the Yankees. If you were a Yankees fan, you hated the Mets. Same thing for comics. If you were a Marvel fan, you hated DC. DC hated Marvel. I've got to get out of that mentality and start reading some of these storylines that I've been missing out on my entire
Oh
life
yeah.
in
Yeah.
DC.
I mean, there's some good ones.
And well, I would love to know what's a good one. I mean, other than like the Killing Joke, and which was damn. I would love to see a series of a list of things that I should either watch or read. Sorry.
I mean, that run we were talking about Batman and the Court of Owls is like a modern classic that people love. So
The New
yeah,
52.
came out.
Did they put that into a trade paperback so it's affordable for people,
Oh,
or should I go for the digital release? Or
I'm sure it is.
one of my biggest problems with buying a comic book that's expensive and then reading it is I'm afraid of getting spine
Oh
ticks and
yeah.
ruining the
Oh,
value.
absolutely. um.
Speaking of Teen Titans, I know they had Cyborg in Justice League. Now, do they introduce the rest of the Titans?
So I don't know. I think they're. Well. Oh no, I'm thinking of because Cyborg's in Doom Patrol, but it's like a different Cyborg that was in the Justice League. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with Cyborg.
Well, how much did Cyborg interact in the comics outside of the Titans?
I can't.
I'm not a DC person. This is an honest
I
question.
honestly don't know either.
I mean, you get like Raven and what's the other girl's name and
Starfire,
Beast Boy, Starfire,
Beast
Beast
Boy.
Boy. Did those characters really? I don't know. Do they exist outside of the Teen Titans animated series and the and Titans series? Do they exist in the comic books other than that?
I don't think much, if at all. Like their home is Teen Titans or Titans, however they're called at the time.
Because Cyborg has existed for quite a while.
He's been in the Titans, but also part of the Justice League. So
Right.
I don't know. Um, I'm looking up the trade paperback here for Batman.
And Anthony, I'm asking you too. I don't know these answers.
Um, yeah, there's trade paperbacks. They're like under $20.
Oh, okay, that's not a problem. You know, what's funny is well, we're on a 10-second delay
Yeah.
here, and out of the corner of my eye, I'm watching the screen down below, and I'm realizing how much my hands are going all over the place. I'm like, man, I am so
I
New
was gonna say
Yorker.
you're from New York, hey? Forget about it, dude.
So you got this book over here, that book over there. You put them together. Hey, what the heck?
There's a spice of meatball.
Oh, man, I could go for some vegan meatballs right now.
I'm seeing you now talk about you're waving your arms by waving your arms. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep, that's gonna be the other one. I'm trying to get myself centered on a 10-second delay. That's gonna be fun.
We're getting a little loopy.
Yeah, well, we've been on for now 2 hours and 45
Oh,
minutes.
Jesus.
So,
I thought
well, we're having fun, man.
it was just 10 o'clock a second ago.
Well, we're at a quarter to 11, and I know my wife went next door to go hang out on the front porch with the neighbors. They asked her if they wanted to come join, and she said absolutely yes. She loves hanging out over there. I love the neighborhood I live in. I really do. It's so down home, open
Yeah.
here.
Everybody reads
I've been
comics.
offered jobs.
Everybody reads comics. Every house.
No, it's like a Norman Rockwell painting. I don't know how else to describe it. When I was in New York City, if you had one or two trick or treaters on on Halloween, you considered yourself to be lucky. Here we average 200 to 250.
That's a lot.
We live in a very small town, but all the homes here have 5 acres, 10 acres.
Whoa.
And I live in the only subdivision, the only homeowners
I see.
association.
Yeah.
So everybody in the town drives their kids here.
Oh, interesting.
And when we first moved here, all the neighbors came over like, are you going to flip the house? Are you going to stay here? And I got to know everybody on the first couple of days, which was weird to me in New York. I didn't know who my next door neighbor was for 7 years. Within a week, I had keys to their houses and they had keys to mine. Like, if you go out on vacation, let me know. We'll take care of your dog. You take care of our cat. I'm like, okay, I have the key to their house. I'm from New York, man. Seriously?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love my neighborhood here, and I've been offered money to relocate, and not a chance. I want to retire here. I want to just, I don't want to say I want to die here because it makes it sound like I want to die. But yeah, I'm very happy where I am now. Just want to build a nice comic book collection and retire. So,
Perfect. Hey, you can't go too far from Syndicate anyway.
yeah, I wish they would get a chance to open a brick and mortar though. That's my biggest thing. I wish there was some way that they could get their own place where we could be open past 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's pretty early.
Well, they're in an antique mall which closes at 6 p.m., which doesn't help me when I get out of work at 5:30 if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Well,
I would at least add Beast Boy, aka Changeling. Yes, but isn't that going to clash with Wonder Twins if they bring that out? Form of whatever animal.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, but they're purple. He's green.
There you go, purple and green. So we come, and you put the two together, you get the Green Goblin.
Hey, I don't know. Um,
Hey, look, as a Marvel fan, I'm just going to straight out say it. Green Goblin is a straight up ripoff of the Joker. Okay, straight up ripoff of the Joker.
you heard it here, folks.
I love both of them, but he's a straight up ripoff of the Joker.
Um, I don't know. Add Beast Boy to like the DCU or to what? I don't know if I understand.
Well, he was saying, speaking of Teen Titans, I know they have Cyborg in the Justice League. Now, do they introduce the rest of the Titans?
Oh,
And he said, I would at least introduce Beast Boy, aka Changeling.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to continue the Snyderverse, as it were. I hope not. I don't like his style. I think they're going to keep Beast Boy in the Titans show with the rest of the Titans because that's being well received.
Do you think they'll ever do a standalone movie with a cross between DC and Marvel, like they used to do comics standalone DC and Marvel together? No. What if it was to benefit a cause?
That'd be great. I mean, I'd watch the hell out of it. I don't know, like cancer research or something,
or like the Chris Rock cheek Botox Foundation. Yes, cancer research or Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Has that happened ever for a movie? Like,
where all the money went to it? No, because now you got to give away money.
Yeah.
I mean, I think only musicians have ever done that, where they donate their time to one giant concert. But it would be a risk because you'd be looking at putting in a $200 million budget.
Yeah.
Then the studio is going to say, well, if we're going to invest $200 million, we want $300 million back, and then after that, you get to send anything to,
whatever it is.
Yeah, and then is the studio going to really invest all of their best writers and best time into something that they can only make a $100 million profit on? I don't know. It would be nice though.
It would be cool.
Maybe the CW could do it.
I don't think Marvel would. Marvel is like, we've let Sony mess with our stuff enough. We're not taking it a step further, going into the CW.
Why does Sony do such a good job with the Spider-Man movies and fail with so miserably at the others?
I don't know, but I will say this: I thought Venom was a fun romp. Like, I didn't hate it as much as other people did. And I have
Tom Hardy saved it though.
I think that's what I liked about it. It was just Tom Hardy and his back and forth with the symbiote.
Yeah,
I haven't seen number 2 yet, but
okay, not as good as number 1 by any stretch of the imagination. Did you see No Way Home?
I haven't seen it yet.
There's a little end credit scene with Tom Hardy.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
I think you could probably catch that even on YouTube and whatnot. He's even good in that. But you take Tom Hardy out of the equation, and Venom is not good.
Listen, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize. I love.
I'm not asking you to apologize.
I just wanted to say that line because it's a paradox. I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize.
No, it's like the Fantastic Four movies. Oh, remember how bad those were? Well, Chris Evans played Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was probably the worst of all the characters. He was horrific. I hated it. And when I heard he was going to be playing Steve Rogers as Captain America, I'm like, oh, not that idiot from the Fantastic Four. And then when I watched it, I'm like, this is a completely different person. This is great. This is amazing.
He got injected with the super soldier serum. He's going to look different. Yes, Xbox Gamer, Wonder Twins, bucket of water. Form
of a bear.
And,
so what do you wind up with? A wet bear.
And Larry, I totally agree. I heard Marvel had some pull in the Spider-Man movies. more than the rest of the Spider-Verse, Sonyverse movies.
And he says Venom was not a good movie without Tom Hardy. Now, was it Tom Hardy doing the voice for
I don't
Venom?
know. Eddie.
I will eat your arms. I will eat your
I will
legs.
eat you.
You will be just a turd blowing in the wind.
That's funny. That's funny.
Look, Venom 2 had its moments. It really did, but it really could have been so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I mean, in all honesty, I hated Deadpool 1 and 2.
What?
I don't like Deadpool. I don't like Ryan Reynolds. It's a perfect combination for me not to like a movie.
Oh my! Feel free to go off on him.
Go right ahead. By the way, I did like Free Guy, so that was funny about
You liked
that.
what? Oh, Free Guy. Yeah, I need to.
And Larry said that yes, he was the voice.
Oh, very good. It was just pitch shifted it way down.
Yeah, before you watch No Way Home, watch Venom 2. I will say that because the little cameo they have at the end, he refers to stuff that he was talking about in Venom 2, so it's kind of worthwhile watching there. Big green guy is called the Hulk.
You're spoiling it for me.
Well, I didn't say the follow-up line, which is the hilarious part. The Venom movies were fun. Venom 2 was okay. Hearing Morbius has issues. Seeing it Tuesday. Yeah, Tom did Venom's voice. And Larry said...
them's fighting words.
Oh, that's fighting words. Oh, but the Deadpool,
yeah.
I'm sure that's what he's referring to.
Get him, Larry.
Xbox Gamer, please let me know what you think about Morbius. I've heard nothing but negative reviews about it.
Same.
However, I will say that when you go to see a movie and you see nothing but positive reviews, you go in with super high expectations and you would think it, and then either they just live up to those expectations or they fall below. So you can never really be blown away by something like that. Very hard to do. If you go into a movie that everybody says sucked and you go in thinking, all right, this is going to be a crap fest, and you can just sit back and enjoy it a little bit, it can either match your expectations or be above. So I hope that you are pleasantly surprised. I hope that you rate the movie better than a 16% that Rotten Tomatoes said. I will see this movie eventually, just not in the movie theaters. I was really rooting for that movie to be important. So.
Yeah. It was weird when the director came out and spoiled the after credits scene. I mean,
yeah.
Why do that?
I don't know. I mean, I went to go see No Way Home first day, first show.
Yeah.
And this isn't a spoiler for you because you can still see it on YouTube now. That is where they debuted the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, we were screaming.
Yeah.
At first we thought it was just an end credits thing, and then we realized this is the trailer. Oh, the audience lost their minds. If you ever watch any audience reaction videos, I was in a very loud audience. And there's nothing better than being in that first audience screaming your heads off. Wow. I gotta remember you haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna shut up.
I'm gonna try to watch it tomorrow.
But I can talk about the trailer because that's been out for a while. There were 3, and I got to say, kids at my age, they were in their low 20s, and one of them said there was one in the middle and the 2 friends on the outside, and the 2 of them were yelling at him, saying, "I told you should have watched What If. I told you should watch What If." I turned around like, "You haven't seen What If? This is the first show of Spider-Man. You have no right being here. Unfriend him." I was ticked off. How dare you go to see first day, first show of Spider-Man if you haven't been up to date on all the stuff MCU related? This is serious stuff here. This is not world politics. We don't care about that. This is the MCU. I have my priorities so messed up.
Well, that's okay. I definitely want it to be fun. I hear Keaton is Tombstone, but he's already a Vulture, and it's probably not connected to Spider-Man, which makes me worry because they're planning Craven and Madam Web. How do you make those but not have a Spider-Man connection? Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know how everything is going to translate with the multiverse.
Like they can do anything now. I feel like, which I don't know.
Yeah. The one thing that I don't want to ever see, though, and it's not because I don't love him, is I don't ever want to see Robert Downey Jr. back as Tony Stark, because that would cheapen his sacrifice. I would like to see his voice back as an AI in Ironheart.
What if he comes back in some sort of, like they were talking about him maybe being superior Iron Man in Multiverse of Strange? Yeah, there you go.
I got a vested interest in it, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark back in the MCU, because his sacrifice was that meaningful and that perfect. You know, I am Iron Man, snapping his fingers, sacrificing himself for his family, knowing that his family would be without him. For him to be brought back under any circumstances it would be like a soap opera, you know, like, oh no, I just had amnesia. I was on a desert island. I came back 3 years later. I don't want to see anybody else play T'Challa. I'm one of those people. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, I think that's part of the reason they brought Tosin Odoye in. I think maybe
I want to see M'Baku.
I like M'Baku. Yeah.
Well, somebody had to lead Wakanda for 5 years while T'Challa and Shuri were both snapped. It would have to be M'Baku, in my opinion, that stepped up to the challenge.
Or maybe it was Okoye. Was she snapped? I can't remember.
No, she wasn't snapped, but I don't see her. No, she wasn't snapped because she was talking about the subduction under the Atlantic Plate.
Oh, yeah.
Before, but I don't see. She's a general. She serves Wakanda, but I don't think she wanted to lead Wakanda.
Fair, yeah.
I see M'Baku being the person who saved T'Challa's life and earned the respect of T'Challa's mother, who I do not think she was snapped. One of Angela Bassett played. I would really like to see him lead. And then I think Black Panther 2 should circled around T'Challa coming back. And, okay, yeah, I'm back. I know that you've been running the country for 5 years, but I just need to borrow the army for a few minutes to go battle Thanos. So, yeah, I'm back, so you have to give me the country back. What do you mean, no? I mean, there's a lot of things that have to be answered from the snap part of it.
Yeah.
No new questions there. So, yeah, we're now at 3 hours. This actually went really well.
Yeah, this was fun.
Absolutely, yes. Agree with Iron Man. I felt Endgame watered down Gamora's death. It's still a good scene, though. Yeah. Well, did Gamora's death bother you more than Black Widow's? I think you know this story real. I'll talk about this, and then we'll end the video whenever you want. But I had my wife, Mrs. Ohana, forced her to watch a lot of the MCU movies. And when she got to Infinity War, she enjoyed it. And then when it ended with the snap, she said, well, you can't end it like that. How long is the next movie? I said, Endgame, another 3 hours. She said, put it on. I'm like, well, I can never get you to watch anything, but you're willing to do a 6-hour marathon? Okay, I'll put it on, no problem. And I said, just so you know, I had to wait 1.5 years to get a resolution to this. So when Black Widow falls, getting the Soul Stone, I looked at her for her reaction, because I remember I was crying my eyes out. I was losing it. And she looks at the screen, she goes, bye-bye. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? What do you mean, bye-bye? Yeah. And I'm telling my friend Brittany about that, and she's yelling at my wife, like, what? How could you say that? What do you mean, bye-bye? I'm like, I know, right? So 2 weeks later, she's watching a video. She's on her phone. She's looking at videos, and I see her crying. And I was like, "What's the matter? Are you okay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm watching this video about elephant poachers, and they were trying to. They found this one baby elephant and the mother that were already poached, and they were trying to save their lives, and both the mother and the baby died. They couldn't save them." I went, "They couldn't save them?" She said, "No." I went, "Bye-bye." How's it feel? I don't know the elephant. I don't care.
Oh.
Like, yes, I'm even. Okay. I felt like shit inside, but I got even.
Oh.
Oh, and Xbox Gamer says, "Oh, Widow was definitely the harder loss." Well, yeah, because Widow's gone and we got Gamora back.
We saw
But
and we knew Widow for longer too. I feel like she came in Iron Man 2, was it? Or 3?
yeah,
One of those.
Gamora. Gamora started in Guardians of
Well,
the
yeah,
Galaxy.
Black Widow though. I mean,
Oh, Black Widow was Iron Man
yeah.
2.
So we
Yeah,
knew her for longer, I feel like.
yep.
So,
When she took down Happy in epic fashion in the boxing
yeah,
ring.
yeah.
I want one. No. I think every guy was like, "I want one too." She's from Queens, New York, by the way, too, just like me.
ScarJo?
So, yep. I did not know her. I wish I did. But
Yeah. Oh.
I did know other redheads, but just not her. All right, so what do you think? We should wrap this up, or we're past 11 o'clock and I go fade by dogs?
Yeah, I haven't been up this late in a long time.
Oh, man, I'm just starting to like wind up right now.
Oh, no, wow.
I wouldn't mind doing this on a regular basis. I don't know if you're up for it. I don't know what your schedule is,
Yeah,
but
let's figure out a schedule. I should be able to. I mean, I don't have anything typically going on at this time, so
we'll have to set a timer, though, and so we don't go full 3 hours.
yeah, yeah. We had a lot to get out,
Absolutely. And for all the comic book suggestions for my pull list and everything, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Definitely going to be picking up Hulk versus Thor, Banner of War #1, the Chrysanthemum, the Hulk #6, which is the first Mayhem, Elektra Black and White #4 with the TMNT Eastman appearance. I already bought, the 9.8 Nice House on the Lake. That's going to be delivered. Yay. And look for the Kenobi series. See? I paid attention.
So you ended up buying the nice house?
Oh, yeah, I bought one of the two.
There you go.
So if you want to grab that other copy, which was at $66.99 plus $4.99 shipping, which is a steal, honestly. You think about that. That's a black cover.
Yeah.
That's all black all the way around, which is a really tough cover to get on a 9.8. Yeah. And if that gets options, a Tinian book, yeah. Then that's going to make a good story if they do that. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for the 10 likes we've already gotten. If you haven't hit like, please do so before we wrap this up to help grow the channel. We continue to get subscribers on the channel, and I'll try to make sure we get some giveaways for the next live stream just so we can keep things lively.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Exclusive giveaways on the live streams. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I've got giveaways that I give away on every new comic book day. And I actually have books that people never claimed. Well, they're already packaged, ready to go, waiting for an address, and I never got it. I'll throw your address on it next time.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So, yeah.
I know you. One time you had that book Duel by Bliss on tap.
Yep.
And that's going for like $20 now. So these giveaways are legit that Rich does.
Well, I mean, and that actually made me feel really good to give away because I picked up 2 copies at cover price. I kept one for myself and one to give away. And when I saw it shoot up in price, I'm like, cool. That's really cool. Because I don't want to just give away something that's $1 book to people. I want to give away books that have a potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Greg, thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it really has been. And talk about comics all night long. Like you said, I have the gift of gab.
That's good.
Shut me up. So I'm going to say thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And from my point of view, mahalo.